Gaming news today is all about surprising results. First, GTA 6 is surprising Take-Two, and you probably won't like the results of the $100 version of GTA 6 and what it could mean for the future. Second, GTA Online in 2026 has completely surprised me. We ran a bunch of missions together yesterday. It was my second time playing. I had a blast. I made a crew. And if you want in our crew, become a channel member and get in our Discord. We're going to be focusing on that later today. But GTA 6 Online is going to have a lot of work to do with content as they add content to GTA Online. If this is any indication how you're going to be treated after a while in the game, because it's a bit of a fire hose. Third, another sort of surprising turn of events, Light No Fire. Do you remember that game? Well, they dropped some interesting news about why they haven't been saying anything, why there's been no marketing, and you're probably not going to like it because it means you're not going to hear anything probably anytime soon. They're just going to continue being quiet. I found it to be pretty surprising, although it's also kind of encouraging. Now, if you're watching this later and you like my content, you like my daily live shows, as well as we do uploads here and there, remember that you need to be subscribed to the channel or you'll miss out on the content. Make sure your notification bell is set to all. Always hit that like button. If you're watching on mobile, hit like, then hype. That does help me out. And we are trying to get more folks into the Discord. So consider becoming a member. It's $5 a month, and now it'll get you into our GTA Online crew. So do that today. All right, let's start with this first one, the surprising sort of thing going on with Take-Two. The $100 video game is officially here, and the crazy part is it's completely winning. Let's talk about Rockstar, Take-Two Interactive, and the corporate strategy behind what is gearing up to be the biggest entertainment launch in human history. For years, we've lived in the comfortable era of the $60 game. Then the new console generation hit, and suddenly $70 started showing up, and now it is the new normal. We grumbled, we complained, but eventually we had to crumble and accept it. But jumping from 70 to a massive triple-digit price tag, well, this was something people were fearful that GTA 6 would usher in, and it did, well, sort of. So let's look at the data. CEO Strauss Zelnick dropped a fascinating statistic. He confirmed the pre-orders for Grand Theft Auto 6 are going much better than expected, but this is the kicker. Those pre-orders are skewing heavily toward the $100 Ultimate Edition. So think about the precedent that this sets. This standard bare bones base game is $80, and that on its own is pushing the envelope for AAA software. But Take-Two put the $100 Ultimate Edition on the table, presumably packed with, extras and goodies, but the most avid consumers are not just buying it, they're flocking to it as the majority purchase. So we're talking about millions of players willingly tossing $100 at the screen, and the game's not even out yet. Now, this is a testament to the decade-plus long drought of GTA 5. Gamers are so starved for this specific world and this specific franchise that standard pricing sensitivity has practically vanished. Now, as somebody who watches the industry and we regularly discuss these PR tactics and the optics, their corporate positioning here is fascinating. Zelnick actually stated on CNBC that given the massive hype and unprecedented anticipation, Take-Two, quote, could have made other pricing choices. Well, if you read between the lines there, he's effectively saying, we could have charged $100 for the base game and you still would have bought it. I mean, it's not hard to come to that conclusion. He's seeing more people buy the $100 version and thinking, yeah, we probably could have gone with a different pricing model. Now, to be fair, it is selling probably fairly well because people are seeing it as a $20 upgrade as opposed to a $100 entrance fee. But here's the thing. Rockstar holds the cards right now. They have the brand power, the cultural cachet, and undeniable demand. Make no mistake, if GTA 6 normalizes $80 or even the $100 buy-in, you better believe every other AAA studio, Ubisoft, EA, PlayStation, Xbox, they are taking notes right now. They are watching this launch like hawks to see if mainstream consumers will tolerate a new pricing ceiling. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. You only get away with this PR strategy if the game is generational. If you charge $100 and you deliver a buggy, unoptimized mess, think about games like Cyberpunk at launch, well, the backlash won't just hurt your stock price, it will permanently damage your brand trust. The pressure on the $100 price tag is astronomical, which hopefully makes other publishers gun shy of not just the $100, but even that $80 price point. Do you want to be seen as thinking that you're equal to GTA 6? Well, I doubt it. So, I turn it over to you guys. I actually really want to know what you think about this shift. Could this be a tipping point? Are we going to see $100 games in the future? Like, is this going to set that trajectory? At the very least, is this going to open up the floodgates, and are we going to see more and more $80 games enter into the fray? GTA 6 is certainly the first one to do it without any major complaint. We saw complaints when Mario Kart did it, and then the Outer Worlds and Xbox's mainline titles tried, and they had to kind of walk that back. Well, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hit that like button, and make sure to stop by one of my live streams. That's not the only thing going on with GTA 6. I want to talk about GTA 6 Online. And the thing that I want to talk about is this game is, in my opinion, in an amazing place, but it also spells a little bit of trouble for anybody who wants to get in now and anybody who potentially wants to get in the future. So let's talk about this one. I am 13 years late to the party, and I am hooked, but it took some work. When you cover the industry day in, day out, it's incredibly easy to get caught up in the hype cycle, the big releases, the latest console. There's lots of various things that happen that can take your attention away from major releases. Maybe there are games that come out that you really want to play. Maybe there are games that come out that you don't want to play. But sometimes, to truly understand where the industry is heading, you have to look backwards at the monoliths that have dominated the space. You have to look at the games that stopped being games and they became entire platforms. So for the very first time, I decided to boot up Grand Theft Auto Online from scratch. I'd never played it before. Starting this game with a brand new character in August of 2026 is genuinely one of the most surreal, completely overwhelming gaming experiences that I have ever had. You drop into this world and immediately the overload kicks in. Your in-game phone is ringing off the hook. NPCs I've never met are screaming at me about underground bunkers and submarine headquarters and luxury penthouses. The map looks like somebody spilled a bowl of Skittles over Los Santos. There's so many blips and markers and mission icons that I can't even see the roads. I'm standing on a sidewalk, and the game is urgently telling me to invest in everything under the sun. Well, here's the thing, though. This actually surprised me. The core gameplay loop is way more fun than I expected, especially missions with other players. Even it can be a bit clunky, you know, the movement might be a little bit awkward and dated. The gunplay feels a little teeny bit dated as well. But there's an undeniable chaotic fun to the action sandbox of GTA Online, where you are just sort of existing in the game. You're running low-level contact missions, you're stealing cars, you're getting into completely unscripted, emergent shootouts with the cops, or these people in this little warehouse that I'm in. It's chaotic, and it's fun. But running missions and working together really ratcheted up the fun for me. I love co-op. I love PvE. I covered a live service game for 5 years where that's sort of what I did every day. I just would play with the community and run missions. The physics engine also really allows for some hilarious, unpredictable moments. I kept getting dropped out of the bed of a truck on the highway, and I couldn't stop laughing. So listen, you can start to see exactly why people have lived in this digital city for over a decade, but there's a problem. There's zero new player onboarding. It's an ocean of content, missions, incentives, grind, literally no tutorial, no guide. You're just dropped into an ocean, and there's no compass, no map of where to go. Metaphorically, there's no map, right? To be fair, it is a very big ask. After 13 years and tons of content being added, I don't even know how they would do it. But thankfully, I'm a streamer, and a decade worth of information can be provided to me anytime I have a question. Chat's there to save me. But GTA 6 Online should really consider this as they add content and build content for their own iteration of online. New or returning players need to be oriented to all that great stuff that you added. If I wasn't a streamer, I don't think I would have been able to get my footing in this game and stick with it. It's a fascinating case study in live service bloat. Honestly, spending time getting crushed at the bottom of the GTA Online barrel has really made me wonder deeply about how Rockstar is going to handle the onboarding ramp for the multiplayer side of GTA 6. They're backed into a bit of a corner of their own making. If they launch the multiplayer for GTA 6 and they reset everybody to zero, sort of wiping out a decade of grinding and microtransactions and massive car collections, well, the hardcore community may not like that, even though many have stated that a clean slate sounds pretty appealing. But on the flip side, if they carry this massive, bloated, hyper-inflated economy forward into the next game in any capacity, well, new players simply won't stand a chance. The barrier to entry will be insurmountable. How do you balance an ecosystem for the player who's logged 5,000 hours and owns a fleet of military jets alongside the kid who's booting up the game for the very first time? Although, probably shouldn't let your kids play this. I don't envy the developers tasked with solving this math problem. Now, I'm going to be diving way deeper into all of this with you guys. We have a crew now and a Discord for channel members. If you become a channel member to Reforge Gaming, you can get into the Reforge Gaming GTA Online crew. Just utilize our Discord for that. Get involved as we're going to be grinding and forming this community. We're sort of heading towards the launch of GTA 6, and I want to hear from you guys. If you've tried GTA Online recently, or if you remember your first few weeks trying to survive in the game, well, sound off in the comments below. How did you survive the grind? Did you stick with it? Did you build your empire? Or did the hoverbikes chase you out of town? Let me know in the comments below, and always make sure to check out one of my live streams. All right, we got one more surprise here, and the video was acting a little funky there, so I wanted to make sure. I don't want these videos to like get all clunky and like stuttery, and I can't figure out why that happens. I think it's a Chrome thing. I don't know if it's like some kind of a memory or resource thing. It's not. It's a separate computer. Come on. Anyway, let's get into the Light No Fire one, because this one kind of amused me. What if the absolute best marketing strategy for your highly anticipated video game is to literally stop marketing? In an industry drowning in multi-million-dollar PR blitzes, cinematic trailers dropped 4 years too early, and relentless influencer roadmaps, one studio is providing and proving that sometimes saying absolutely nothing at all is your greatest competitive advantage. To understand how radical Hello Games' approach with Light No Fire actually is, you got to look at the standard modern playbook. Right now, major publishers treat marketing like a high-stakes psychological war of attrition. You announce a game with a pre-rendered CGI cinematic and it doesn't really show any gameplay. Then you spend the next 3 to 5 years drip-feeding developer diaries, locking down exclusive cover stories with gaming outlets, hosting beta weekends, putting your development leads onto the stage at Summer Game Fest, and you have them promising the moon. Well, why do they do it? Well, because modern corporate publishers answer to shareholders. They need quarterly momentum, pre-order metrics, and constant hype generation to keep stock prices stable and to justify ballooning budgets that often exceed the actual cost of development. But that hyper-aggressive hype machine, it comes with a devastating and an invisible cost, the trap of overpromising. So let's pivot to a studio PR tactic that is the exact polar opposite of your typical hype cycle. We haven't seen Light No Fire from Hello Games since its very first trailer in late 2023. It is currently sitting with 19 million views on YouTube. Originally, they were supposed to go and do deep dives with gameplay about 6 months later. They had full intentions of bringing it to Summer Game Fest. Well, what happened? Well, Sean Murray recently sat down with Kotaku and he explained it perfectly. They simply didn't need to. That single teaser trailer shot Light No Fire straight to the number 2 spot on Steam wish lists, sitting only behind Valve's Deadlock. And as I said, the trailer is closing in on 20 million views. Now, Murray's reaction to seeing the data was essentially, well, why would we do any more marketing? This is a masterclass in crisis prevention PR. We all remember the trauma of No Man's Sky when it launched, the media circus, the television spots on late night shows, the relentless interviews, and the vastly inflated expectations that nearly destroyed public trust in the studio. Sean Murray is refusing to repeat that mistake. He noted that right now he's perfectly happy working with a tiny, tight-knit team in his own little cave, completely undisturbed by the noise of the industry. By embracing radio silence, Hello Games is deliberately throttling their own hype. Even though this does sort of work against them in the reverse, right? Everybody's waiting with bated breath for more info and more footage. It kind of creates its own version of hype, but at the very least, you can't blame them for putting too much out there. But I do think this highlights a massive structural advantage that independent studios hold over the massive conglomerates. Hello Games doesn't have a parent company breathing down their necks demanding a Q3 fiscal release window because they have self-fund. That's what they do. They pay for it themselves. They retained a total financial independence following the incredible multi-year redemption arc of No Man's Sky. They have the ultimate luxury, time, and peace of mind. Think about how refreshing that is. Instead of wasting developer hours building vertical slices and misleading E3 gameplay demos that don't represent the final product, every single person at Hello Games is actually working on the game. They're not working on anything else. They aren't spending months crafting PR statements or managing community backlash or putting together trailers. They are just building the game. And honestly, I think this is brilliant. It's a grounded pivot in studio management. The rest of the AAA landscape could learn from this. But I want to know what you think. Does silence work to their advantage here, or does it start to build passive hype along with consumer annoyance because people want to see more? They want to know more. Let me know in the comments below. And hey, be sure to swing by one of my live streams. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Let's make sure, and I'm going to make sure and give that recording to Mr. Creature there. We sometimes I've been forgetting to do that. So is GTA Online a separate game? Is it free? How does it work? You can buy it separate for like $20, or you can download GTA 5 and it's just like included in the game. Right, and GTA 5 is currently on PS Plus, so you can get it that way if you have PS Plus. So yeah, that's what they're dealing with. That's how you get access to it. So we are going to have to thank some people here. Let me do a teeny bit of a refresh here. That way I can see any of the fan funding that has happened on YouTube. If you guys are just now tuning in, make sure you go through that ritual. Hit that like button. We greatly appreciate it. And let's do this. And I do have some people to thank. A $5 super chat from Andy Ackerman says, Lono, I miss you, Cuddles. I'm disturbed. Low key with the $2 super chat says, Rockstar set the new AAA standard. And it looks like we do have a primary sub from 9. Let me get that in just a second. I just have to take this this file here. We have GTA 6 $100 version, right? $100 games. We got GTA Online in 2026, and then we have Light No Fire, Silence Explained. There we go. We got multiple segments from this morning to talk about. We appreciate you guys being here every single day. The news cycle should start to pick up, all right? It should start to pick up because we are definitely dealing with a GTA 6 temporary takeover. They dropped their little Nintendo Netflix extended look thing that they talked about, and then that gives us a window of time where other things can sort of start to happen in the industry. So let me add 9 to the total there with your Prime sub. Thank you so much for using your Prime. I knew they would go the Red Dead route. It scares me to do it. A lot of games getting canceled with no information. Sci-Fi Nerd with a Prime sub. Thank you so much for 44 months. I greatly appreciate it. Give me 1 second. Kids were doing their thing this morning for school, and I had my door closed. Had to open it. It was getting warm in here. Let's see here. It scares me. Yeah, I do get the silence around No Man's Sky, or I should say Light No Fire. Light No Fire causing people some, concern like, oh, is it going to get canceled? Is it not going to make it? Like, I get it. I don't think there's any danger of Hello Games canceling it. They have made an unbelievable amount of money from No Man's Sky. They have. They are such a small studio. The amount of money they've made from No Man's Sky, as they just have continued to pump updates into it. They just did an update just this like week, didn't they? Like I think it's called Orbitals. Nice shirt, thank you. They just pushed that out. They push out those updates for free, and they don't charge anything. They don't have microtransactions. They don't charge for updates, DLCs, seasons. They don't have season passes. They don't have battle passes. They just charge for the game. That's it. And I believe they have made more than enough money. And so Light No Fire, I think we will probably see it this year. Maybe that's why it was called Cosmos. Did I say Orbitals? I'm thinking of the game Orbitals. I'm getting myself confused. I think it was called Cosmos, wasn't it? Are you watching the Phantom Blade Showcase today? Oh my gosh, I completely forgot about that. What time is that? Phantom Blade Zero Showcase. What time is that? Where is it in the news here? I completely forgot about it. To showcase next-gen RPG gaming experience, has a release date. Phantom Blade Zero shows off more slick action at the showcase. I can't find anything. They're doing like a debut today, and I can't remember what time it is. I thought that was later today, like where I wasn't normally streaming. 10 p.m.? It's like late at night, isn't it? That was my memory. I thought I looked into it, and it's like I swore it was late in the day. I might be thinking of Beast of Reincarnation review embargo. That was a little bit of awkward timing as well. Freddie Jackson, thank you so much for 59 months. Oh yeah, it's at 10 p.m. Eastern. No, I can't do anything with that, brother. I'd say I'm not streaming at 10 p.m. We can react to that tomorrow or talk about that tomorrow. Yeah, anytime you're dealing with Eastern companies, right? Whether it's like a Japanese or Chinese or Korean company, their marketing timelines are going to get a little funky for us over here in the U.S. because they're going to do things according to their time of day, which is completely fine. I expect nothing less, especially if you want that game to do very well in China. You can't be doing things centered around America's schedule. Trey Gaming with 18 months. Let me add you to the total. He says 18 months and still rocking. Bless all you gamers. It's 7 p.m. Pacific. Yeah, that's 10 p.m. for me. That's we can talk about that tomorrow. Star Wars Zero Company embargo is up today. Game will be hit. Yeah, embargoes are going to start hitting. Previews are going to start hitting. And that's why I think the reason that Sean Murray is being willing to talk about Light No Fire in this interview, I think he's basically saying, hey, we are ready to start talking about this. That would be my guess, is that they are ready, to start talking about it. That would be my guess. That they are they're probably looking at maybe Gamescom. If not Gamescom, they're probably looking at the Game Awards, because many people speculated that that was the plan this last time, but he was not able to be there. He had like a family emergency or something. Yeah, Star Wars Zero Company is the XCOM one. And Wired Rope's going to kick off the day with 10 gifted subs and gets us to the 50 mark. The memberships are continuing to get more stuff. So we have the Discord. We are now offering the GTA Online crew. We started one. If you want to join, we're not just accepting everybody. You're going to have to get into the Discord, and then that way we can make sure we know who you are. And we do have commissioners to handle that. So consider becoming a member today. It's $5. You can use your Twitch Prime, which is attached to your Amazon Prime subscription. It's just included, and that does support me. And thank you so much for doing that, Wired Rope. I remember the game getting announced years ago. Yeah, Light No Fire was announced 2 years ago. We're approaching 3 years. December of this year, it will have been 3 years. Yeah, Supermassive announced layoffs. Yeah, I saw that. Never mind, GTA 6 Online ain't announced yet. I was confused. No. The GTA 6 Online has not been announced. I mean, they won't talk about it, which by not talking about it, they're talking about it, right? It's like, oh yeah, we're not going to talk about that anytime soon. That's confirmation that they're going to talk about it. They're just not going to talk about it anytime soon. So, 39 months from Mick Pratt. Thanks for the VIP. Let me add it to the total. Need to check out GTA 5 Online. If you're a member, you need to get into the Discord, and then that way you can get into our crew. That is where we're managing all of that. So if you've been a long-time member and you've never managed to get, make your way to the Discord, now's a great time to do that. I'm calling it GTA 6 Online will be like Red Dead 2, extra money if it comes out. Are you making a prediction, or are you just saying that this is what they do? They literally do that. They do that with GTA Online right now. It's included in GTA 5, but you can buy it separate for $20. So if you just get GTA 5, it's just there. It's included in the purchase of GTA 5. And then online, if you don't want to buy the main game, online's a separate purchase, for $20. So, that is the XCOM 1. Yes. So, Phantom Blade presentation is to know. Okay. I'm not sure what's going on. If you guys are having some difficulty, I'm going to refresh because it's like mine is stuck. And hang on 1 second. There we go. My chat was 100% stuck. Is there a cap on crew size? No, there is not a cap on crew size. I believe there are crews in the millions of size. Mortal Shell 2 plus Phantom Blade 0 equals eating good. If you like games with swords, you are indeed eating good. Yes, it is certainly a great time. Red Dead Online was free with the game. It was included in 5, but not in Red Dead 2, you're right. Well, now Ain't Got No Games is saying that Red Dead Online was free with the game. Yeah, I don't remember ever paying for Red Dead Online. I had Red Dead 2, and I remember just going into Red Dead Online and playing. And there's a hype train started on Twitch. Thank you so much. Twitch is fine. Okay. Well, this little thing we do every day, we've got a weird trend emerging where people, I'm not sure what it is. We no chat. Like, it's like, I'm not sure why that keeps happening. YouTube has been an issue where I have to refresh it. So hopefully it's not happening to you guys. You got it for free. Yeah, I don't remember paying for that. Wait, it was then, why is it there on store for 40? It was, and why isn't a thing on the store for 40? If it's on the store for 40 now, I'm assuming that that's because if you want to buy it separate. You can buy GTA Online separate right now if you'd like. If you don't want to buy GTA 5, you can buy the online for $20. So I don't know what their pricing of Red Dead is, but that's not surprising that they do it that way. It came with the game, and then later they started selling online standalone. What's good? Voreyes, I think is your name. Voreyes, good to see you. Work and lurk is fine. I can't talk to myself, y'all. I don't know. We bring up anything going on. This has been a very strange time for gaming news. We gotta make it work. Okay. All I remember about Red Dead Online is it was abandoned pretty quickly. It had like a host of trouble. You know, it had a host of trouble. You know what I mean? It was like, it didn't work. There was glitches. There was bugs. I tried to do it, and I was trying to do, I think we were just trying to do something very basic with proximity chat, and it wouldn't work. Like, like basic features, I just could not get to work properly. And you got Red Dead Online free with Red Dead 2, but could get online on a separate SKU if you didn't want the game. My opinion of Blood of Dawnwalker, I think it looks fine. I mean, people were being a little, I think people were being a little overly critical about it. They were like saying it looked dated or whatever. I think games of that size and scope are typically going to have to like dial back world detail, lighting, things about that. You can't have all that stuff turned up to 1,000. I do think it's going to end up being one of those games where I just don't have time for it. A 5 bomb from Ginger Prime. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Red Dead Redemption Online had such promise. I do not understand why Rockstar abandoned it. Thank you again, Ginger. Good morning, chat. I'm here working and lurking at the moment on a few calls. Thank you. Red Dead Online doesn't have invite-only sessions for some really strange reason. I had a whole plan to go into Red Dead Online and do stuff with it, and it was, I don't know. We couldn't get basic things to work. Yeah, Lipscomb, you sent me a message about Void Train. I feel like I don't know if I would play this game with Madam or not. It's like, is it like a rogue where isn't it PvP? I feel like it's PvP. Play solo or online co-op with up to 4 people. Oh, no, it's a co-op game. Yeah. We haven't checked that out. We were playing Abyssus, which we really enjoyed. It was like a first-person shooter rogue, and our playtime has gotten cut pretty significantly because she's going to have to start kind of doing stuff in the evening. She's doing stuff for the kids' school. She's tutoring. She's doing stuff for church. Like, it's really tough for us to play games right now. So GTA's griefing is very rare because there's consequences. Well, and you can just go private as well. 21 months from Frank Last. Thank you so much for getting us to 60. I appreciate it. I think their hope was that the GTA crowd would embrace Red Dead Online, but instead they just called it Redneck GTA and went about their business. I don't remember if that's what happened. I remember the week we tried to play, there was an ocean of complaints about it just not working. Like, stuff just wasn't working. I don't remember people saying that they didn't think it was, like, good. It was that you literally couldn't do certain things, if my memory is correct. This is a lifetime ago. This is back when I was streaming the game as Hillbilly Jack and, like, doing goofy stuff. We went into the online, and, like, we couldn't get basic things to work. It was extremely frustrating. So I think it could have done very well. Red Dead Redemption Online should have turned into a farm sim. That doesn't make any sense. It's a bit like Raft and Build a Train. Oh, Craft and Build a Train. The combat looks janky in Blood of Dawnwalker. I feel like Blood of Dawnwalker combat has looked better a little, like, and the hype trains ended on Twitch. It's looked a little bit better each time I've seen it. Red Dead Online had promise. They dropped it to focus on GTA Online. Oh, is that what happened? It felt extremely half-baked at launch. I forget what we were doing. It was like we had somebody, I think I had somebody with me, and we were just trying to go do like a mission, and the waypoint marker, there was something that it was like we couldn't figure it out, and then we couldn't. I also think I remember, like, trying to join each other was ridiculous. Like, if you wanted to play with your buds, it was so impossible. The connection and the lag was terrible. I remember not being able to play with people, and we were trying to pull people in, and we just couldn't get it going. Red Dead Redemption Online died because of gold bars. It was greedy. I have about 4,000 hours in Red Dead Online. It's fantastic with a ton of content now. The problem is they abandoned it 3 or 4 years ago. So once you get done with the available content, there's nothing left. $2 from Trey. How do you feel about Gears Shotguns PvP? Yeah, I'm seeing that debate, and I think what you're dealing with is it's kind of like the building in Fortnite, in that when you give people a high degree of skill expression, it can create absurd realities. So I don't think originally when Fortnite started, its building system, that's not what was intended for it to be. It wasn't intended to be that, right? Like when you were playing Save the World, I don't think they ever intended people doing what they're doing when they're playing, right? They're building a tower and then quickly editing a wall, shooting you, and then putting the wall back. I mean, the building and the editing in Fortnite is absurd. I think that the movement in Gears, over the years, it slowly evolved, the movement and the shotguns, and I think it lended itself to really impressive skill expression in the PvP. But what it ends up doing is it creates a slope, and lots of people fall off that slope. Like when you go into, that's why the no build mode became a thing in Fortnite. People felt like they couldn't play. It was like you'd go in, you would take one shot at a guy, and he would build a skyscraper, and then you'd be like, well, I don't know where I'm dead. Like, that was pretty much the experience. And like, whenever I remember playing Gears PvP back in the day, that's literally what happened to me. Like, a guy rolled at me and I was dead a second later, and I did not understand what happened. Like, I was like, oh, okay. And then once it was explained to me, like, what people were doing, I was not able to get into a rhythm. You guys watched me play with Erica the last week. I just can't make heads or tails of it. Like, I grab walls when I don't want to. You know, there were a couple times where I was able to roll and get some decent kills. But overall, I don't find it appealing, and I even kind of understand what's going on. And then you watch, like, the really high-level movement, and I think it's cool that people can play at that level, but I think that's always going to be a problem with established franchises with movement systems and skill expression that is very, very steep. I just think it creates an inevitable problem of you have a slope or a skill slope that people are just going to slide off of. So I get why people are critical of it. I get why people defend it. It's really hard to choose a side, because I like a game with cool skill expression, like watching a guy go crazy in a fighting game, watching a player really, really put a crazy, gameplay display on with, like, the building in Fortnite is cool, and watching people bounce around in Gears, like, it looks like Adderall the game. I'm like, what the heck is going on? I think it's cool, but it also is its own version of its own version of gatekeeping. Like, you're just going to have a really hard time getting people to stick it out in that game, in the PvP in particular. Not only that, it's arena. So, like, arena PvP by itself is currently struggling because it's just a meat grinder. Everybody is sort of accustomed to, like, an Arc Raiders, a Fortnite, a Warzone, like a more open, more emergent style of gameplay. And arena is very rehearsed. You go to the certain spots, you learn the certain tricks, the map control becomes very, very, very rehearsed. Your heat maps of activity on maps basically all look the same. I just don't think that kind of gameplay appeals to a broad enough audience anymore. That's not a criticism of the game itself. That's just me sort of giving a diagnosis of where I see player bases sort of trending. They're trending away from, like, arena. And then that level of skill expression is going to really compound the issue. It's going to extremely compound the issue. Everybody's just closing space, wall bouncing, and just shotgunning people into oblivion. And here's why you can't win. I'm talking about the Coalition here. The Coalition can't win. If they completely change that meta, or they try to attack it from a nerfing perspective, you're going to upset the people that really, really like it. And that's probably a pretty good portion of your core audience that loves Gears and has loved Gears for a long time, right? You can't do that. Second thing is, if you leave it as is and you don't do anything, you just make everybody else say, well, I'm not going to play this crap, I'm out of here. Your third option is obviously to just, like, try to buff everything and make everything more worthwhile. But then that creates another problem. Like, if you can imagine, because somebody is saying, where was it? Somebody said that the problem was that something does no damage. I forget what. Somebody put it in chat, and I can't see it now. If you make the normal sort of Lancer there it is. Assault rifles do no damage, says Trey Gaming. I played a lot this weekend, and you can't get a kill with anything but the shotgun. Assault rifles do no damage. Sucked, but enjoyed the horde mode. Yeah, the assault rifles become about map control. You shoot people to kind of pester them and funnel them where you want them to go, right? So I think the Lancer is used less for kills and more for map control, at least from my observation and my own experience. They're sort of using it so that you can't approach certain approaches. If you're going to go for map control, certain approaches are too long, so you're going to get Lancered the whole way there, and then your TTK is going to be non-existent by the time you arrive at, your destination. So I don't think they can necessarily win. My advice would be they should just own what they are, make it as awesome and as fun as possible, and then you've got the Horde mode that I found to be very fun. I think the Horde mode has a lot of potential. I think people want to play together. I think multiple teams being on the map is cool. I think there's lots of fun things they could probably do with it. But I think if they start chasing the fool's errand of trying to balance and trying to nerf and trying to buff, I think it's a fool's errand. I would just own what you are. It's chaos. Nasherville. Now, if you want to have game modes where the Nashers are gone and start to develop other metas or skill expressions or other gameplay types, that's fine too. But I if they start chasing the fool's errand of trying to like nerf, buff, and balance around the shotgun meta, I think they're going to make things worse, personally. That would be my suggestion, is just to own what you are, let that identity soar, that it's grizzly, it's guts, it's blood, it's Nashers, it's frenetic, and then have alternatives where maybe you can take a breather from just getting shotgunned all day, whether you go to Horde or maybe just make other PvP modes where maybe the Nasher isn't present. Or something like that. Or you could, people want there to be like a stamina bar or something. And I'm like, I don't know. Again, I feel like you're over legislating a little bit, Chad says it sucks. It's the worst game ever. When I was a kid, I couldn't afford many games. I got an Xbox 8 for months and got Gears of War 2 because everyone was raving about it, and it sucks. I hate people for insisting it. I mean, it sounds like you're having a very, very strong, almost like an emotional response to the game. If you don't like it, I just don't play it. I don't have a very good time in fighting games. I don't spend any time getting upset about that. I just don't play them. So, I don't know. I'm looking forward to the campaign. I think the game looks like it's got a lot of promise. I just think the PvP is the PvP what it's always been. It's a shotgun mess. And if you're good with the shotguns, you're living large and having a lot of fun. If you're the rest of us, you're just dead or not playing. Do you know what I'm saying? So, I just think that they should accept it for what it is, and so should everybody else, I think this is a problem in general with games when they try to be too many things, or they try to abandon their core identity. I had a lot of criticism of Helldivers over the years for that very reason. I was like, embrace the chaos. Embrace the pendulum of chaos instead of trying to balance the game. And I think that Gears of War should do the same thing, right? So, it's somewhat related to, and this is actually very interesting, because perception is reality for a lot of people. If they perceive your game to be a certain thing, it is that thing to them. And if you can't get them to come and play, you can never dispel that perception. My perception of GTA Online was it was just going to be memes and hijinks and goofing off and griefing. I did not realize that GTA Online was this actually pretty well-built MMO. Now, maybe it wasn't at launch, but after all these years, it's an incredibly well-built MMO with lots to do. And it's very, very fun. I did not expect to have fun. I expected to goof off for an hour and then be like, this is just frivolous. I'm not going to come back to this. And so that can be very difficult to overcome that perception. Like, if it wasn't for GTA 6 and the future of potential insanity in GTA Online, I would have never booted it up again. I never booted it up to begin with. I played GTA 5 like a lifetime ago on Twitch for like a bounty. But I never would have booted it up again. And that's the thing, is if you can't get people to sort of overcome their perception, like if people's perception of Gears PvP is what we're seeing on Twitter and the highlights and stuff, people are just going to straight up skip. They're not going to go in. It's like I said, it looks like Adderall the game, which, can have its own version of fun, I think. Guys, we've been streaming for about 45 minutes. Do me a quick favor and make sure you've gone through the ritual. Whenever you get into the show, hit the like button, say good morning. You can go to lurking or whatever. Contribute to the conversation, ask a question, bring up gaming news, and we can talk about it. Lona, what do you think of Devolver going private? I didn't see that announcement. They're going private. I didn't realize that they weren't private. So in what I don't... Devolver Digital, have they made the formal announcement? Where have they made the formal announcement? I don't see, where are you getting this? I'm not seeing it on their Twitter timeline. Good morning, Derelict. How are you? Only 99 more days. That's right, GTA 6. We are officially under the 100-day mark. The countdown begins. It is almost here. It also means that now we're within the 100-day mark. The chance of delay is basically non-existent, I would say. Well, not non-existent, but it's incredibly low. GTA 6, getting delayed is continuing to probably slip off of the table, right? The PC version of Tokone was literally broken. They took it off to fix it. Oh gosh. Sony had to take Tokone off Steam to fix it. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Is Arc Systems just not familiar with building for PC? Like, how did that even happen? That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand what in the world they did. Big Helldivers update tomorrow. Yeah, that's true. That's true. There is an update coming. I haven't paid much attention to it because I believe it was just like a teaser trailer. There wasn't much significance to it. Yeah. Guys, double check that it's saving your like. It's YouTube's been doing that thing again where I have to ask for likes like 8 times before the number moves. I don't know if that's just you guys being funny, but make sure it's saving your likes. It's been fixed. I'm playing it on Steam. I've not paid any attention to it. I thought Marvel Tokone Fighting Souls had a lot of promise, but whenever you basically release a game and it's garbage on PC, I'm always like, ay, what a way to flat tire your game. Your thoughts on trying to go private? I meant my bad fams. Them trying to go private. I don't know anything. I can't really commentate. My thoughts on them going private is I don't really have anything to say about it. I didn't know they weren't. I didn't know they were trying to go private. It's hard for me to have an opinion about that. They fixed it within 4 days. Sorry, boss, was late on the like. No problem. It's been an interesting experiment lately. Let's see here. Marvel Tokone Fighting Souls on Steam. 46%. I don't know why you would say they're fixing it. I'm sorry. Why you would say they have fixed it. That doesn't look fixed to me, like, at all. How do you view the graph? I can never figure out how to view the graph. Purchase type, language, display. I thought there was a way to see the graph. Purchase type, review type. Yeah, I can't see the graph. Show reviews is most helpful, recent, funny. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a way. I thought there was like a button. Did they remove the graph button, or has it not been out long enough for there to be a graph? Looks like my like locked. There we go. GTA Online was better back in the day before GTA Plus, when the only way you could have cool stuff was to no life the game or have that friend who no life the game. Now you can have everything for $10 a month. There are several factors in that 46. Devolver Digital has announced plans to delist from the London Stock Exchange AIM market and return to being a privately held company. Just riveting. PlayStation just posted the Wolverine PS5. Wait, they're doing a Wolverine PS5? Get your claws in this limited edition. I can't believe they're doing this. I didn't think they were going to do it. PS5 digital bundle, accessories inspired by Marvel's Wolverine, including Battle Yellow adamantium console covers and DualSense controllers, releasing September the 15th. Pre-orders go live August the 19th. So the freaking controller is pretty hot. Okay. I like the two-tone. I'm going to be real with you. Oh, the white is also nice. Yeah, the two-tone really works. Yeah. That really works, y'all. I like the white too. Where's the white? Oh, hey. PS5 Pros are actually getting some love this time. In the past, the Pros were left out in the cold, man. I don't know. I think the black and white might be better. I think the black and white might look better than the yellow. I don't know. That's a tough call. That's a tough call, man. Can you just buy the plates? I'm assuming they'll sell the plates. Digital edition controller exclusively. Okay. Oh, right here. Yeah. PS5 console covers, yellow, 75. Pro console covers, 75. Pro console colors, 75. Wait. So the Pro gets the... I'm sorry. They get the adamantium version, but you can't get the... It looks like you can only get the adamantium version on the Pro, the black and white. Yeah. Like you can get the yellow for both, but it looks like down here, according to the pricing, you can get the yellow for the PS5, and then you can get the yellow for the PS5 Pro, but then you can get the adamantium for the Pro. It doesn't look like you can get the adamantium for the standard version. 75 for plates. I mean, it's Marvel, dude. Like the frickin' the royalty share on that's probably dumb. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you sell licensed anything, I try to tell my kids that with I try to tell my kids that all the time with Legos. Like that's why certain Lego sets are just ridiculously expensive, because of the licensure. Whenever you buy like a Nintendo Lego set or a Marvel Lego set, you know. So what's the best looking PS5 controller to come out? I like the 007 First Light one. I think the Spider-Man one is still one of the best looking ones. The Spider-Man one is very, very nice. I don't even use it all that often. Yeah. The only one of my DualSense controllers that got stick drift was the black controller. Unfortunately, that was like my favorite one. Maybe that's why I got stick drift. See the DualSense editions and plates though? Yeah. Make you get a Pro? Maybe. I don't think I'm going to get those. I don't think I'm going to get any plates. We're having to, like everybody right now, we're having to really tighten up. Even stuff that I'm even like purchasing stuff for the business, like collector's editions and stuff. I'm just not doing it. It just doesn't. A lot of times, it just doesn't seem to be worth it. So, very, very interesting that they opted to do that. The adamantium controller and the yellow controller. I think my only criticism of the controllers would be you can't really tell that that's Wolverine. Like that could literally be, that could be anything. Like that could be like if you're a fan of Michigan, like college football or something. The obvious the this has Wolverine on it, like the plates do, but the controllers are somewhat generic. Like the only reason I like this is because of the black and white two-tone. I don't necessarily like this because it looks like something associated with Wolverine. You know what I mean? I think the plates are more clearly like a Wolverine thing. Like that looks sick. I think this lacks, I don't know, this lacks branding. This doesn't feel like a Wolverine controller. I love the two-tone though. The white down here in the middle and the black is definitely a dope look. Yeah. They might. I like simple and I like minimalistic. They might have gone a little bit too simple and minimalistic on the controller. Because I've got the God of War Ragnarok controller and the Spider-Man controller and the Astrobot controller. And I feel like those do a better job of like branding to the game. And that doesn't feel very branded to the game, unfortunately. Yo, what's good, Brooklyn Breed? How are you? The Wolvie's not white. It's like a grayish color. Kind of. Yeah. It looks like Bumblebee from Transformers. I'm kind of impressed that they're doing it. I thought they were completely avoiding anything that would be raw materials or shipping because everything's just so expensive now. I thought that's one of the reasons that they weren't doing it. Oh, now that I didn't realize. So the plates themselves, you can see through. I did not realize that. So there's actual... You can see the fan spinning. There's actual... They're see-through as if he actually cut them. That's actually cooler than I thought. Yeah. It's not just a mark on the plate. The plate is literally see-through at the slash marks. I did not know that. That is very cool. Yeah. I'm going to resist the urge to get those plates, but those plates are pretty dadgum cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I just thought they were going to avoid anything. Controllers, plates, collector's editions, anything that would increase any kind of shipping, freight cost, or raw materials cost. I thought they were just going to avoid. Doesn't seem like we're seeing certain companies just completely skip that notion, and I think some of it has to do with like the rising cost of those things in particular. So, other than cobalt blue and yellow, like the cartoon suit, they're going for the more black and yellow vibe than anything with like the Uncanny X-Men, any of the blue, any of the more colorful stuff. I'm sure he'll have suits like that in the game. Insomniac likes to put lots of suits in their games like they did in Spider-Man. As you guys are just tuning in, hit that like button. There's been a lot of gaming news to talk about. The GTA 6 $100 bundle is the one that's selling the most. That's obviously a concern for rising video game costs. That game is seemingly doing just fine charging for the $100 Ultimate Edition. I talked a little bit about GTA Online in 2026. We did start a GTA Online crew. If you want to be a member of the crew, you need to be a member. And that means you need to be in our Discord. We're going to funnel that through the Discord. So consider clicking join, becoming a member, and getting in there. And we also talked about Light No Fire and why they're not marketing the game. One of the reasons they're not marketing the game is the initial trailer did so incredibly well that they did not feel the need to do anything more. They didn't feel the need to do anything more. They just kind of stopped. They were like, oh, we're the second highest wishlisted game, and the trailer is closing in now on like 20 million views. So, yeah, we looked at the the Wolverine PS5 stuff. Yellow will look cool with the PS Blue light on it. Yeah, that is true. The blue on the front will look kind of nice with that yellow. That is true. My all black controller got my all black controller got stick drift too, by the way. GameStop is now the proud owner of that one. 10 years of No Man's Sky and only 1% of the planets have been discovered by the entire community. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to put much of a dent in like 15 or 17 or 14. It's something in the teens, quintillion planets. It just isn't possible for people to put much of a dent in that. That's just too many. At some level, it's too many planets. But it works for No Man's Sky because of the procedural generation and the fact that it's a space exploration game. So isn't the reason for the $100 price point being the most sold probably mostly due to the clothes you get in the game? Well, I always chalk up consumer response to the most simple reason, right? Like if someone was like, okay, what do you think what's the primary reason that people are buying what's the primary reason people are buying the $100 version of GTA 6? And I would say the simple reason is they don't want to miss out on anything. It's like they want everything. Here's the thing. Here's the real thing that I don't know if people have noticed this. But when we've been tracking pre-order charts recently, and you like go to the PlayStation thing and you're like, what's being pre-ordered the most? The deluxe editions, the ultimate editions, the more money editions are always at the top. They're always at the top, boys. And it's the simplest explanation is that people just don't want to miss out on anything. They just give me all the stuff. Give me all the stuff. It's the combo meal mentality. Just give me it. Just give me all the stuff. Just simplify it for me. I buy every deluxe edition because of FOMO. Yeah, I think that's the most common reason. Sure, you could whittle it down to like more microcosmic reasons. Like, well, some people did it for the tattoos, and some people did it for the cars, and some people did it for the clothes. The umbrella reason is that they don't want to miss out. They want all the stuff. These are the ones. These are the versions. These are the games. The SKUs that are always at the top of the pre-order charts every time. So GTA 6 isn't necessarily an exception to that rule. GTA 6 is just flexing its demand muscle, being like, yeah, not only do we have an $80 version, a $100 version, the $100 version is the one that's getting pre-ordered the most. Everything here in Australia is getting banned. Age verification is rolling out. Yeah. You guys, Australia is getting hit with that. I believe Europe and UK are soon to be in that boat with the age verification stuff. Yeah. You want all the stuff from Phantom Blade Zero? Listen, this is one of those interesting experiences as a gamer. Like, you're self-aware enough to know why you're doing it, and you do it anyway. I mean, come on. You're self-aware enough to know, like, let's think of a game that I'm really looking forward to. You know, Control Resonant or like Onimusha. I'm self-aware enough to know when a game like that comes out. And Jack Garland with the 5-bomb. The members are off to a slow start, but you guys could certainly bounce it back. We're now a 10-bomb away from 75. Every 25 I gift one. I do owe one to Purple. I'm going to do that now. And if you want to join our GTA Online crew, you have to be a member. So become a sub or member today and then hop in our Discord so we can get you added to the crew. Isn't the human mind a wacky thing? Right, like, I know I've done this with games. And the only way I've started to break the cycle, the last couple of games I've got, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, I didn't buy the more expensive edition. I didn't. Do you want to know why? Couple of reasons. The primary reason was I knew the stuff they were giving me I wouldn't care about shortly thereafter. Thank you for 35 months, Plural Abyss. Let me add you to the total. A member plus renewal. Thank you, sir. I knew that, like, within, you know, a week of playing the game, I wouldn't care about those cosmetics. Secondarily, I have started to grow a dislike for the pre-order stuff because they usually have to make it so extravagant it doesn't look like it fits into the game. And a 10-bomb comes in from Neo Reaper, and there it is, 76, the second milestone of the day. Let's grow that member base, boys. We need more people in the Discord. We need more people in the GTA Online crew. It's a great reason to click join. It's a great reason to be here. You might get gifted a member. I now owe one to YouTube. I'm going to do it now. You want Insomniac to make the Punisher next? Yeah, I don't know if I want them making the Punisher. But, because, I don't know. I just feel like it would be fun, but it also, I don't know how you... It could be amazing. I don't know if I want that game, though. I feel like it wouldn't... There's too many games that would I don't know. With it being a shooter primarily, it could be amazing, but I just feel like it would end up being like almost like a Max Payne Just Cause mashup. Make sure and grab your Wolverine pre-order accessories. They got announced this morning. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be pre-ordering any of those. I'm kind of having to dial back on that kind of stuff and tighten up a little bit. Q Patrick with 46 months. Thank you. We're in the same boat as a lot of you. You know what I mean? Things haven't been very great, so I'm not buying a lot of that stuff. I'm not buying the bigger editions. I'm not buying collector's editions. I've not been buying controllers. Yeah, we're just many folks are kind of feeling that right now, and so those look cool, but I'm gonna pass. So I have been able to say no to Ultimate Editions and all the extra chingerings lately, primarily because I know I end up not using it like a week later, and secondly, a lot of the bonuses end up looking kind of ridiculous. Thank you so much, Belly Boy, with the Prime, getting us to 78. So, you know, Control Resonance is coming, Onimusha is coming, Wolverine is coming. Like, these are games I'm really looking forward to. I don't think I'll be buying the Ultimate Editions. I'll probably just be buying the Standard Editions. Because usually the stuff they end up giving you, the stuff they end up giving you, I end up knowing that, like, it's just not something that I'm going to use long term. I'm not going to get a lot of value out of it. I hate to say it, but you were right on Halo and its cultural irrelevance and how much more oomph Gears still has. I don't know if Gears is going to do... Well, that's the thing we won't get to see, right? Because they put Gears Reloaded on PlayStation. They put Halo Camp Involved on PlayStation. But the real game that could have really shown itself to have some pull would have been E-Day. And we're not going to get to see how Gears of War E-Day would do launch date on PlayStation because they pulled it back. So, why are they feeling that? I'm not sure. What are you asking about? Why are they feeling what? If you bought Black Flag Resynced Launch Edition, you got a map poster and art along with cosmetics and stuff. Last time I bought the Deluxe was Spider-Man 2. Yeah, not that valuable. You get fun stuff, but the fun stuff, it just ends up feeling, again, I think like the last Deluxe Edition I bought, and I really felt this, was Assassin's Creed Shadows. Like, the sword... cosmetics and the transmog and the outfits and stuff, I looked ridiculous. I didn't even look like I belonged in the game. It was like that meme where like the guy shows up to the MMO with all the stuff that he bought and like his mount and his armor looks absurd. It's like he doesn't even belong in the video game. That's what I felt like. So Gears is going to be 88, 89 and beyond that podium. I don't think so. Asha really messed that one up. They really don't want to succeed anymore. Limiting the reach of Gears was, I just don't think, a good decision, especially with the horde mode and the planned seasonal content and stuff. I think it's going to end up being viewed as a mistake historically. I don't think it's going to shore up a demand for their console. It's not going to create that thing that they said it was going to create. It's just an odd choice. Horizon Forbidden West gave me some outfits that didn't really do much, and that's the last extra edition I got. Jess says the next Fallout won't be on PlayStation. I mean, if they want to keep setting up their studios to have limited commercial success so then they can, shrink them and lay a bunch of people off later, that's what we just got done watching, and everybody justified it and said it was fine because the games weren't commercially successful enough. I mean, if they want to keep riding that merry-go-round, I don't really care anymore about that brand. Watching it self-destruct and watching the Defense Force act like everything is fine, it's just exhausting. I just don't care anymore. The Coalition is also shooting themselves in the foot by minimizing monetization. What do they think they'll make money from? I mean, there's supposed to be seasonal content. It would be great if you could tell us more about the 6 or so countries who banned GTA 6 already and what was the reason it got banned. I don't know. If there are countries banning it, I'm assuming there are countries that ban lots of things, right? I mean, there are plenty of countries that ban certain types of games. I don't know if that's a new phenomenon for GTA 6 in particular. You can't say people that don't want to be saved? Yeah, I just don't care. Watching the brand and brand trust just sink to the bottom of the ocean, like, okay. It's been 6 years. What's new? Xbox continues to do stupid, dumb things, and everybody acts like it's fine, good, and brilliant. It's been 6 years of having to listen to that. I just don't care anymore. I don't really care. I'll play their games when they come out and cover them, but I don't really care to make content and commentate on them as a business. It's been 6 years of them making horrible decisions, and the press and the Defense Force act like it's brilliant and it's going to be the new era, and it never is, and it always ends up being bad. And you get nothing for being right. You just get scorn and ridicule and name-calling from a rabid fan base that is just not worth anybody's time, in my opinion. Not the fans, the rabid fan base. They're just not worth it. They're not worth engaging with. Let them clutch the brand as it sinks. I don't care anymore. Like, they're irrelevant in my mind. They might not be irrelevant in the culture of gaming and like the gaming press. I just don't care about the brand anymore. I'm all about it. I'm tired of having to explain things to people. Yeah, I'm tired of predicting things and being right and then getting nothing but ridicule and scorn for it. It's just an exhausting cycle. One of the most unpleasant experiences of my career has been being consistently right about Xbox and Microsoft and getting nothing for it. It's like, okay. Like, the stuff that happened with id Software, I was proven correct on every single thing that I said. Did I make a video about it and say told you so? No, because I just don't freaking care anymore. So. You would prefer ridicule and scorn for things like your height and your kitten bladder. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather be made fun of for my hair and my height. Why ban a game? I mean, that's been a common theme for lots of countries for a long time. That's not a new phenomenon. There are movies, there are certain things that get edited, banned, changed. That's just a common thing. It's just a common thing. I don't think GTA 6 is some kind of an exception. Now, there might be a slightly far-reaching GTA 6 ban because of the name and because so many people are like paying attention to it. That's entirely possible. If you guys are new to the channel, we do a live gaming talk show like this Monday through Friday. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to hit subscribe. If you want to become part of our GTA Online crew, we manage that through our Discord. And you got to be a member or a Twitch sub to do that. So get into the Discord. All countries that banned it are very anti-drug and murder. Right. I remember being in Turkey. I was in Istanbul. And if you watched a movie that had smoking in it, they would put something in front of the cigarette, which was hysterical because it just drew more attention to the fact that somebody was smoking. Like, they would literally raise their hand to smoke the cigarette, and there would be this giant, obnoxious thing in front of the cigarette. So it just drew more attention to the fact that somebody was smoking. So it was remarkable to me in, like, when was this? When did I go? It would have been 13 years ago. It was like 2013, 2014. Was the thing in front of it a big cartoon cigarette? No, it was like it wasn't anything. It didn't say censored. It wasn't blurred. It was like a decoration or something. It was very bizarre. That's the thing. It wasn't a censor bar. It was like a, what are those things called when someone's wearing a tie and it has all those, they're like spirals? It kind of looked like that. It was like a decorative spiral thing. It was very, very strange. Turkish Airlines blurred the cleavage of Psylocke in one of the X-Men movies. Yeah. So that's not an abnormal thing for certain countries to be like very, very upset about smoking, drugs, things like that. Paisley, is that what it is? I'm telling you, it was something like that. It was so bizarre, and it was so noticeable. It drew more attention to it. Yeah, it was like a Paisley. It was kind of like one of these, but like stretched out and thin and in front of the cigarette. Yo, what's good, Feed? I see you in the chat. Guys, Feed's over there on YouTube for his 5th month in a row without a membership. Just continuing to try to get Feed back in the membership blocks on YouTube. So yeah, there are. I don't think that there is a. Ecstasis says breaking news. The new business opportunity, everything at the business level, software engineering, very important changes. Yeah. Whatever. We've been unsuccessfully trying to get Feed. It's blurred because it was Olivia Munn, not because of Psylocke. They don't like her. Thank you, Neo Reaper, with the Prime sub on Purple, getting us to 79. I greatly appreciate it. Banning GTA sounds like free advertising. The truth of the matter is that banning a game like that in certain regions isn't going to do anything to its success and its revenue and its demand. Like, you can ban GTA 6, you'd have to actually hurt it. You'd have to ban it in like the US and Europe. You'd have to hit them in like the 2 markets where it probably performs the best. You can't necessarily, I think, hurt it in the handful of countries where it's getting banned. The demand for the game is just too high. That's like in One Piece where they switched cigarettes to lollipop. Yeah, I mean they do this sort of thing in certain countries. They get a little censorship heavy on drugs, smoking, and like sexual stuff. Any news on the Horizon MMO? I've not seen anything, no. If you're talking about the one made like NC Soft or whatever, the mobile game, yeah, nothing. I'm not really... It'll be interesting to see if it does well in China. I think that's their primary goal with that. I think that's why it's a mobile game. I think they're trying to get the Horizon franchise to get traction in China. The Wolverine console covers look beautiful. They look pretty good. The controllers look good too, albeit a bit generic. The controllers, it's hard to tell if it's necessarily for Wolverine because it's just some slashes. But the case covers, I think, are really nice, especially the fact that you can like see through them into the PlayStation. Hellraiser has gameplay out. That's one of those like 4v1 games, isn't it? Isn't it one of those games like the Friday the 13th game? I'm not really interested in those games. They can be fun for a little bit, but they're just not my jam. I'm anxious to see the Phantom Blade Zero. There's Phantom Blade Zero gameplay that's going to debut this evening. And then there was Control gameplay that debuted. I actually still haven't had a chance to watch that one. Silent Hill with little screen instead of just the radio sounds. Hellraiser's a single-player game. What game am I thinking of? I thought Hellraiser was going to be one of those 3v1 games. It's a single-player game? How did I get this confused? It's single player. Exclusive 14 minutes of Hellraiser Revival gameplay. It's a brutal survival horror game. I did not know that. Halloween? I thought this was another one of those game types. I don't know why I thought that. Yeah, I remember playing the Friday the 13th, and I thought this was another one of those games. I swore I saw footage, and that's what it looked like. I did not realize it was a single-player game. Resonance of Plague Tale Legacy will take approximately 20 hours to complete. Oh, man. This year has been so good to people who want single-player. It really, really has. So this looks a little bit like Resident Evil adjacent. Like, this reminds me of RE8 a little bit. The graphical intensity, the survival, the menu, the NPCs, the storefront. Yeah, this feels very Resident Evil Village. I wonder if I'll enjoy this or not. Survival horror is not really my jam. Like, I liked Resident Evil 7. It didn't really feel like survival horror to me. But like Chronos The New Dawn, Resident Evil 4 Remake, and then Resident Evil 8 Village, I didn't really get down with them. Halloween's a 4v1, Hellraiser's a single player. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I just in my mind somehow got them. Wait, what the heck did he just do there? Oh, in the corner of my eye, look, he teleported. David Houdat with 30 months. Welcome back. Let me add you to the total. We're exactly 80. We're 20 away from the next milestone. Thank you so much, David Houdat. See if you don't bait somebody to do the first 20 bomb of the week. What did he grab? So he grabbed something. Huh. Is Pinhead in the game? I believe so. He's on the cover. He's on the cover of the game. Okay. Well, if you like this franchise and you like this genre, then you're eating pretty good this year. You got, Resident Evil 9, and now you got Hellraiser looking pretty cool. This gameplay's got a fresh look at combat, a boss encounter. Yeah, so, it's very Resident Evil. You're picking stuff up. Let me see if I can get that on the screen there. Where was that? Yeah, here we go. So he's going to get a tool here. Just the pickup screen alone. That feels so RE inspired in a good way. You're going to have very, very dark environments with flashlights and horribleness and basements and blood. Oh, yeah. Yep. Oh, gosh. That looks terrible. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to play that one. That looks like one of those ones where you're constantly worried about like how many bullets you have, and they don't speak to me. They start to become like a slow plotting, puzzle, and frustrating would be another word I would use. It's like this slow plotting, frustrating puzzle where if you do something incorrect, you kind of have to redo it. And it's like, okay, well, I didn't use my ammo or the room, correctly. And I just don't enjoy those games very much. Yeah, the survival elements, if the survival elements are too pronounced, I have a hard time enjoying myself. Because it starts to feel like you're like trying to solve a puzzle as opposed to just playing a video game. And I get that that's why people like them. They like the idea of, okay, I've got this much, I've got this, I got so much ammo, and in this room, okay, there's a guy there, there's a person there, there's a traversal challenge in front of me. You know what I mean? You like RE7? I never felt that way in RE7 though. I never felt like in RE7 I was playing a survival horror game. I think it did such a good job of immersing me and not making the survival aspect so pronounced. The survival aspects were sort of beneath the surface. They were there. Let me explain it like this. Do you remember those things at the store? And it's like a bed of nails, but it's like thousands of them. And you push your hand on it, and then it creates the pattern of your hand in the nails, right? They're not sharp nails. You remember these toys at the store? You'd put your face in it, as all the disgusting children did the same thing, and you got their germs. You put your hands or whatever. And so it comes through and you can see it, right? I feel like in a game like Resident Evil 7, the survival elements are so low and beneath the surface, I don't sense that they're there that much. What happens in some games, and this was my experience in RE8 and RE4 Remake, and Silent Hill, and Chronos: The New Dawn. These are games I did not enjoy, even though I readily admit they're well built. Well, I enjoyed RE8 sort of. I didn't enjoy it as much as 7. RE8 and all those other games, RE4 Remake, blah, 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 I feel like it pushes through so much. It's so pronounced. That's all that I end up seeing. Right? I dig that your analogies are as wacky as mine. You're one of the few with the gift. Thank you, Zubair. A $5 super chat from Yelix says, I know GTA 5 is a PS3 game, so I'm hoping for GTA 6 to feel balanced and improved to a next level since it's releasing on PS5. I don't feel like GTA Online looks like a PS3 game. I feel like it looks like a game from like 2019. Chronos is such a vibe. Let me explain something to you. I feel jealousy, a healthy amount of jealousy for the people that enjoy those games. I do. Because Chronos: The New Dawn, the same thing happens to me every time. The opening 30 minutes is this immaculate vibe of terror and, oh my gosh, I don't have enough stuff, I'm going to die. And then the survival elements start to push through, and then that's all I can see. I'm no longer in the game. I'm no longer immersed. It's, okay, I got to get around creepy growly guy. I have 2 bullets and a baseball bat. After creepy growly guy, there's slimy fat guy. And if I can get past slimy fat guy, then there's screeching woman person in the next room, and she's really fast. So if I can get past them, then I'll get to the next room where I'll get the key to get to the next place. Do you see? I'm no longer in the game. Everything's got its category. Everything's got its classification. His route is left, right, left. His route is left, turn, circle. That girl's route is not a route. I just can't get seen by her or she'll jump on me and I'm dead. So it's like mechanic, category, and now I'm playing. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like the survival elements just punch through, and I'm no longer immersed. It's not a criticism. It's all up here for me. In RE9? No, I didn't feel that way in RE9. I thought RE9 was immaculate. I thought Resident Evil 9 was a masterpiece. There were a few things they did with Leon that might have been a little, that maybe overstayed their welcome like a teeny bit. And maybe they got a little self-indulgent. I allowed it because it was Capcom. Like the motorcycle and that whole sequence was a little like, it was a little hokey. But it was like, I'll allow it because it's Capcom. They kind of earned the right to do that, to be a little silly. To be a little, it almost felt like I was playing an anime, you know what I mean? I thought that was fine because, again, I felt like they kind of earned the right to do that. They had earned a lot of trust from me up to that point. It was really survival. I'm not doing the best job explaining it because I don't know where the tipping point is. Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 9 didn't tip over, and all of a sudden I'm like, I'm playing a survival game. They didn't tip over, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Certain games, they tip over, and I see the forest, I see the trees, I see the mesh wiring of how they built the level. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not having fun anymore. Let me explain it another way. The gameplay by itself, I'm being very careful here. The gameplay by itself isn't good enough to stand on its own. If it's not coupled with the horror, if it's not coupled with immersion, it doesn't work. Like, go play those games, and by themselves, the gameplay's like fine. Nobody's doing some breakdown of the combat mechanics of Silent Hill. Nobody's doing that. Why? Because that's not the point. They're fine. They're a vehicle to get from point A to point B. If you can't have the gameplay interwoven and coupled with immersion, story, and fear, it doesn't work. That's the point. That's exactly the point that I'm getting to. Is what happens for me is, if the horror fades, if the immersion fades, all that's left standing is this bare naked, not so great combat or gameplay loop, and I'm like, now I'm just annoyed because I got grabbed again. Now I'm just annoyed because, like, the primary difficulty is that I feel like I'm walking in wet cement. Like, you just make me slow and stupid. Like, I'm up here now. Resident Evil 7 kept me down here. RE9 kept me down here. The first layers of fear kept me down here. I'm scared. Like, I'm in my heart. I'm in my feelings. Instead of being up here and being like, I need to make a left and a right. If the light shines, okay, it's going to loop. Okay, if that guy sees me, he's going to run. But then I should be able to get around the box. If I can get around the box, I just have to watch out for the guy behind the ladder who will spit at me. You see what I'm saying? Like, as soon as I enter into that landscape, I'm not having fun anymore. And so it's not a criticism of the genre. It's not a criticism of the games. It's more of a diagnosis of why I don't have fun, you know? And I think there are people that get very activated by everything I just said. They're like, oh, no, but that's part of the beauty of it. And I'm like, yeah, not for me. So the balance between immersion and challenge is delicate. Yes. It really does come down to fail rates. Like, if they have certain instances where they know it's going to be a high fail rate, that's when it kind of tips over for me. What was the one? Outlast? Outlast was perfect until I had to actually try to get around something, and I had a couple of fails. Well, now I'm not scared anymore. I'm just annoyed. Alien Isolation, the same thing happened. I'm immersed. I love it. The vibes are immaculate. It's alien. It's creepy. And then I had a couple of fails, and then I'm now playing a video game. I'm not immersed. As soon as that happens, you've lost me. I check out. So, I get why people like them. I think they're immaculately built. They're creative. They're cool. They just don't speak to me. So, when I look at Hellraiser gameplay footage, that's my first thought is, if the other side breaks through and all I see are mechanics, I check out. I'm not scared anymore. I'm just annoyed. Because, again, I don't think the gameplay in those games stands particularly strong. It has to be married to the horror. It has to be married to the immersion. If those two things get decoupled, it's over for me. So, the beginning of RE9 was so good. My only criticism of that game is that I wish I had more of it. I think that's a testimony to the fact that it's the perfect length. I think RE9 is the perfect length. If it was any longer, I think it's perfect. You wanting more is they did the right thing. For Chronos, just shoot them in the leg so they fall and then stomp on them to preserve ammo. Yeah. Mechanical solution. Then to me, it was not like, oh, I can't figure this out. The act of figuring it out ruins it for me. I don't feel like I'm frantically surviving. I feel like I'm playing a video game. And it's a video game where the gameplay is not that great. It's fine. It's not bad. It's not exceptional. It's just fine. It's a vehicle. It serves the purposes of the game. It serves the purposes of moving you from room to room. Do you see? Like, if I'm frantically feeling like I'm surviving and the character's breathing, oh my gosh, where do I go? And you're like, oh my gosh, and you shoot that guy, and then you go to the left and you push the door open, and there's a guy who's like, and you're like, oh my gosh, and you duck under him, and then you get to the next room, and then you slam the door shut and latch, and you're like, you're like, oh my gosh, that was spectacular. But if I have to replay that sequence 3 or 4 times because there's a very particular way of doing it, and there's a very particular solution, you lose me. Because then I'm just going left and right, okay, then duck. Okay, if after you duck, you have to sprint. If you don't sprint, the ankle grabbers will get you, and if the ankle grabbers get you, then the guy behind you is going to get you, and then it's over. Like, as soon as I'm doing that, I'm out mentally. It has to feel like I'm actually frantically surviving, not measuring the distance to the door with a ruler. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm an island unto myself. I love horror. And RE9 was fine, good even. I'm tired of Leon though. Kind of want him to go away. He's become a bit of a stereotype and a cliche within himself, for sure. He has. I think that's kind of part of the point. You know what I mean? He shows up and he's this muscly daddy that everybody's kind of drooling over, and he saves the day. But then you end up, saving him. So, that's kind of my argumentation or explanation, I should say, of why a lot of the times I see games like that now, and I'm just a teeny bit, I'm like apprehensive, because not in a way of like dissuading you guys. I just sort of know this might not work for me, It's like when you learn that a certain brand of shoe just doesn't fit your feet. And they might look cool, and you're like, dadgum, the latest such and such shoe looks so sweet, but they just don't fit you. For whatever reason. My son deals with that. He's got big old fat hobbit feet. Oh! So, anyways, if you're just tuning in, the news that we've been covering is that GTA 6, the $100 version, is outselling the base version, which is obviously a sign of concern. And it was seemingly a shock to Take-Two that was happening. I don't think they necessarily expected it. Strauss Zelnick even said they probably could have gone with a different pricing structure for GTA 6, given the demand for the $100 version. I actually think the $100 version is selling as well as it is because it's the ultimate and not the base price. I actually think at some level they would have potentially had issues if GTA 6 price was just like flat 100. I don't know if it would have sold as well. So it looks like Plague Tale Legacy has quite a few weapons in it. The Plague Tale Legacy, Fierce and Lethal. So we have a bit of a combat breakdown here. So she's fighting here and she's got like a sword and a blade, a sword and a knife, I should say. But then they go into the inventory, and it looks so she's going to have a lot of different ways of maybe playing, different styles, different benefits, different weaknesses. This actually looks like a very, very good combat system. It's going to be maybe a bit straightforward, but it looks like very responsive and very fast. I am looking forward to this. I love the Plague Tale, environment. I love the world. So I'm excited to be in this world with sort of a genuine combat system. There was minimal combat and fight sequences in the others. Very, very minimal. That one's looking better and better. What Hellblade should have been? Well, just give it time. Senua, I believe that Senua could come, still come to the market and still be great. We still don't know who got Ninja Theory. Sad it's releasing on the 27th. No one else will be talking about it. Yeah, that's not a great launch date. The 27th is the day that Netflix thing is landing. The GTA 6 extended look is landing on Netflix at that exact time. If you guys are GTA fans, like a lot of people have been coming in and finding the stream because of GTA, we will be playing more GTA Online today, and we will be trying to grow our crew. If you're looking for a GTA Online crew, then be sure to get into our Discord. That is a members-only Discord, so consider doing that. So sad that GTA 6 will be stealing their thunder with marketing. First Hellblade was alright. I mean, 2. I knew exactly what game you were referring to when you said that. You said that what it should have been, which clearly, it was clearly you were referring to the sequel, because the expectations were set by the first game. Yeah. Plague Tale Legacy coming out the same day as the GTA 6 extended look. It's a bit of a rough time right now. This calendar year for gaming is a bit crazy. GTA 6 alone is a problem. But the release calendar is also a problem. Because you have so many games launching. You have Resonance, Plague Tale. You have Gears of War. You have Onimusha. You have Wolverine. You have Control Resonant. There are so many games. I almost inevitably, every time I try to think of all of the games that are coming, I end up forgetting one. I end up leaving something out that I'm looking forward to. I end up leaving something out. I end up forgetting something within the timeline. There are so many games. Just this week alone, I think there's a couple that we were kind of looking at, like Dusk Fade, I believe, is in 2 days, that I actually thought looked pretty good. And then in the following weeks, we get into a lot. Yeah, and the beginning of next year. And GTA 6 is part of the reason we have this almost like accordion-like squeeze happening. Hang on one second. That was weird. It sounded like someone was in the house, but no one's here. I'm probably going to die. Anyway, so there's a bit of an accordion squeeze where, like, games are coming out and they sort of stop, and they're coming out and they sort of stop, and it's like, and then all of a sudden it's just like boom, 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 boom. There is an action roguelike going into early access. Is this PC? No. I'm sorry, is it early access? Echoes of Mistralia? Echoes of Mistralia, which I always love when they put the trailer up and they don't have a link to the Steam page. Huge pet peeve of mine. Echoes of Mistralia on Steam. This one comes out today. Yeah. So this one is an action roguelike hack and slash. Is it early access? Oh, it is early access. It's $20 early access. It is single player. Very, looks a little Hades clone-esque. Yeah. So if you're into these type of games, this one came out today. Again, there's just all kinds of games on the calendar. Like smaller games that you might have even forgotten about. Oh, Riftstorm. Isn't that another one that's doing, I believe that one's multiplayer. Riftstorm is today as well. That was another top-down that I believe I was watching. Because GTA 6 is going to continue to have this sort of, it's Extraction Light. So it's online co-op, single player, coming to early access. So Riftstorm is like a top-down Extraction with online co-op. So this one has got co-op PvE. I think we're going to see more and more games do this, right? Oh, yeah, look, no PvP. They get it. These guys get it. They get no grief. They get that people just want to play with their buds and get some stuff and go back. Like, they get it. So this game, Riftstorm, is out today. And that's another one that I remember seeing. I knew I recognized the name. Akatori is a Metroidvania that comes out tomorrow. I don't know if you guys have seen this one. Akatori. Let's see if we can get into some gameplay. Yeah, Akatori is tomorrow, August the 12th. This is PS4 and PS5, so you can get it on old gen if you would like. This is a Metroidvania where you fight unique enemies. The art style is really, really good. Her head makes it look a little cartoony, but like everything else, I think it looks pretty dope. So, Akatori. That one's tomorrow. And then Dusk Fades the day after. Dusk Fade and Wild Blue Skies, which is the love letter to fans of Star Fox. Mafia the Old Country's DLC is on the 14th. So, Sinking City is a highly anticipated one on the 18th. I'm sorry, Sinking City 2. That one looks like kind of like a Lovecraftian mystery. There's guns too. Neo 3 is getting DLC on the 19th. Mortal Shell is on the 20th. Stalker 2 is getting DLC, it looks like, on the 20th as well. And then Modern Warfare 4 is on the 21st. Aliens Fireteam Elite is on the 25th. Amsterdam 1666 is on the 25th. Once Human is coming to the consoles, coming to console August 25th. What a terrible time to try to do anything right now. That's all just this month. Everything I just listed is just August. And that's not even including like smaller indie titles and things like that. Oh, we're not done with August. I'm sorry. Bring and Dine Abyss is a brand new storied franchise featuring unique world. I don't even know. Rally your resources. I don't know what kind of game this is. Oh, it's like a top-down. And then Resonance is the 27th. Star Wars Zero Company is the 27th. Yeah. Oh, Modern Warfare 4 open beta. I'm sorry. When I said Modern Warfare, that's early access open beta. That's not the game releasing. My bad. Yeah. We're just now out of August. Oh, we're still not out of August. I'm sorry. That game that the Rogue, the Serious Sam Rogue, Serious Sam Shatterverse is coming out on August the 31st. There it is. Now you're just now out of August. Yeah. Enjoy figuring out what in the heck you're going to play. A lot of this is because of GTA 6. Indies are coming out that I want to play. I'm also knee-deep in an unreleased game called Deadlock right now. Yeah, I've had a lot of people say they like that. Sinking City 2. Looks like it's right up my alley. Yeah, September's coming. September kicks off. September literally kicks off with Crimson Moon, Moonlighter 2, and Blood of Dawnwalker, Orbitals. That's all within the span of 2 days. Crimson Moon is on the 1st. Moonlighter 2 comes to consoles on the 2nd. Blood of Dawnwalker and Orbitals are on the 3rd. Onimusha's on the 4th. Oh, there is a game coming out called Halloween. I was thinking of Friday the 13th. You guys were trying to tell me that the reason Hellraiser made me think it was one of those 3v1 PvP games is because of the Halloween game that's coming. I didn't realize there was literally a game called Halloween, which is basically, is that them resurrecting Friday the 13th? Because Friday the 13th, like, has already been out. September's a madhouse. Just insane. Onimusha looks like a PS4 game. Oh, I don't agree with that. I had a really good time with it. I didn't think it looked like a PS4 game at all. You guys that keep saying that, I think you need to go back and play PS4 games. I don't think you remember what PS4 games look like. I really don't think you remember. Yo, it's good, Cool Spoon. How the heck are you going to just mention GTA? How are you not going to mention the GTA mogger himself? Godzilla Destroy All Monsters. Yeah, sorry. What PS4 games? Onimusha graphics look dated. Your mom looks dated. I'm just kidding. She might not be alive, so that might not be funny. Oh, let's see here. Okay, so the contention is that these graphics look dated. Okay. Let's see if we can figure out why people think that. What I'm seeing is lighting and a color palette that reminds me of Sekiro, which obviously that could be why it's evoking thoughts in people's... Why is this happening? Hang on a second. That's why this is happening. Let me close and reopen Chrome entirely. It hasn't been closed and reopened in a while. Every once in a while, I forget that my gaming rig just sits here and Chrome is just like constantly running, and I feel like it needs to be restarted, because if not, I get all those terrible hitches whenever I'm trying to watch gameplay with you guys. Okay. I tell you what it is. It's not the graphics. I think the graphics do not look last gen. If you look at him, his character, the physics system, the way everybody's moving, that's not the issue. It really is the lighting. It's very primitive raster lighting and crap, or no global illumination, ambient occlusion. Most modern games have better lighting. It's the lighting. What it does is it flattens out the colors, and it evokes a very last gen feel. But like, if you actually look at the level of detail in the game, if you look at his model and how he moves, right, all the steps in the animation, this does not look like a last gen game to me. It literally is the lighting and the color palette. It reminds me of Sekiro. It doesn't look like this on PC. Like, I just want you, for a second, don't watch the graphics and the lighting. I just want you to watch his cloak and how it moves. The physicality of it. You see? That's why I think that's why. Like, if you changed this color palette and this lighting right here, nobody would be saying what they're saying. Because the level of detail on him, the world, it's all fine. It's quite literally the lighting and the colors. It's unfortunate because I'm sitting here thinking, why are you guys saying this? That's why. That's why. Because I played it and thought, I think it looks fine. I think it looks great. What are y'all talking about? Watching these trailers now, I understand why people are saying what they're saying. Yeah. I have 6 hours and 20 minutes in the demo. The game is stunning on PC, lighting and all. Well, this is something that I've been trying to communicate to people about the next gen, when the PlayStation 6 is going to have to market itself around things like lighting and upscaling. Lighting is an immense visual lift on a game. It's an immense visual lift. Like we saw this in AC Shadows. Assassin's Creed Shadows is one of the best looking next gen games available because of the visual lift from global illumination. Onimusha with RTGI would look like a freaking different game. Throw up some PC gameplay. Let's see if anybody has any good gameplay. Onimusha, Way of the Sword, PC gameplay. That's PS5. Andy Cortez, does he... It says he has PC gameplay here. It looks the same to me. Here is Onimusha Way of the Sword 4K RTX 5090 full ray tracing. That's what this guy is claiming to have in his video. Do you see the difference, y'all? The whole world is, there's still a darkness and a dreariness to it. So their art direction is still intact. The art direction is 100% still intact. But, and yeah, Jaster, that's the one that I just found. But the depth of the world, the textures, the rocks, the characters, even the main character, it's significantly better. Even the flashes on the fence from his moves there. Let's see if we can get some freeze frames of it. Let's see if we can get a good freeze frame here. So you see how even the flash from his little deflection is lighting up the enemy as well as the fence around him and the floor around him? It creates this visual lift where the game automatically looks, it looks like it's from now, it looks like it's from today. There's an element of depth that happens immediately. Even beyond the fence, you can sense that there is more to this game. It doesn't have this like foggy, sort of washed out feel. The freeze frames in the last vid looked bad. Yeah, this looks very, very... Just here, the shadows on the ground and the way the lights are like coming down from the trees, like that looks like a game from today. Very picky. The character's not part of the GI system. He is a little flat, but the world is so much better. Yeah, he does still look, I will admit, he does look a little, still a little removed from it all. I don't know, his cloak looks really good there. And running through there, it looks really good. Yeah. I'm still getting weird hitches, though. I think it's because the Twitch, I need to pause the Twitch player on my dashboard. I think that's what causes it. Yeah, I'm not getting any hitches now. Looks very different to me. Yeah. I think the difference is overstated. I mean, that's subjective, right? I don't feel like I'm overstating that ray tracing GI is one of the most significant visual lifts that you can do to a game right now. It's significant. Like, watch this section that we stopped watching here. Just watch this section where he fights these guys, okay? There's a crispness to it. There's a vividness to it, a sharpness, where, like, everything just... Oh, my gosh. Everything just looks like it has so much more definition. This game has just got so much... What do the kids say these days? Aura? Good. Golly. And right through here, watch this section. Watch this section. Just look at the lighting. Look at the stones. Look at a little... Look at the little pillars. The sense of depth as he moves through the corridor. Come on. Come on. Beautiful. Vibes. Absolute vibes. I don't know why I had another freeze there. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the problem is. I don't know. Chrome has become freaking terrible. It's dripping aura. Agreed. This isn't my kind of game, and I'm intrigued by the style and the visuals. I think the stiffness of the plant life makes it feel a bit older. For the most part, it feels like it's all static. I think that's probably going to reign true for any game that is more sort of in the lane of it's not open world, it's open area, right? You're sort of going through and you're moving from space to space. I don't think they're going to put a lot of flourish and a lot of, spice on the plant life. I used to love games like this, but now I'm approaching my late 50s. I don't have the hand-eye coordination for them to be fun. Yeah, it can become unenjoyable if the reflexes just aren't there anymore. The cape stole all the cycles that would have gone to plant movement. That's right. Liza Pizza 2 is confirmed. It's coming out this year, but they wanted to work on it more. Yeah, I'm sure it was coming out this year until the end of the year became a monster. I don't like the closed-in corridors feel of the game. I wish the tutorial was more open. Well, I think what they're trying to do in the beginning is they're just trying to move you to the next thing. If you guys haven't hit the like button yet, do me a favor and quickly do that. Try to get us to 300 likes. We've been streaming for about 2 hours. Those like milestones are important. Yo, Madden Mills with 15 months. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was very much tutorial area. I don't think it was representative of like what the areas and the fights will always feel like. It was meant to be instructive. Stand here, deflect the arrows. Stand here, deflect. Stand here, get a stealth kill. Stand here. Like, it's just sort of walking you through the basics. You have to remember that tutorial areas are going to be very utilitarian. Hidden Zero says, I'm just saying it's not a transformative difference. Zubair says, that's fair, but that's personal. Some people are more sensitive. I thought it was transformative in AC Shadows, and I thought what we just watched in Onimusha, I feel like ray tracing GI is transformative. That's my own personal opinion. You're going to watch it and be like, you're not going to be as compelled. That's fine. I mean, everybody's different. For me personally, I think RTGI is one of the fastest ways to visually lift a game. I think it's one of the fastest ways to visually lift a game. You can raise the resolution all you want. You can raise resolution on texture all you want. For those of you that like fast-paced, brutal cyberpunk FPS, Sprawl Zero launches September the 8th on PS5. What do we have here? What is it now? So this looks like it's going to be very adjacent to those games where like you run and you're fast and you're probably having some wall running, some double jumping, some dashing. There's definitely a sword. Hesitation is the death. Did I say hesitation is the death? Hesitation is the death. First and foremost, hesitation is defeat. Secondly, the death? We having a language barrier here? This looks pretty straightforward. Just run in, kill everything, Looks like it could be pretty fun. Games like this, after playing Dead Zone Rogue with Madam, I would just want a game like that to be co-op. I love playing through a game like that with another person. If you guys have been waiting to get Soros, it is on sale right now. in games that I've tried with ray tracing, it makes no difference. Global illumination makes a much bigger difference. I don't know. Maybe it's just the the games I've tried. Well, global illumination is ray tracing. RTGI, ray tracing, global illumination. So maybe you're talking about just turning on just plain old ray tracing and not ray tracing GI. Where is Spine? I don't think Spine's coming this year. I am growing doubtful about that game more and more. I don't know. Maybe it's just a small team and it's just taking a while. It's one of those games that's like, I'm a little worried it's sort of lost in that valley of like they're trying to appeal to sort of like culture, and they're using culture as a catalyst more than, I don't know. It makes some red flags go up when I feel like you're kind of capitalizing on John Wick virality and Gooner game virality, and is the game going to be any good, you know? So, lots of games are coming this year, move to next year because of GTA. Yes. Any other first impressions of Zero Company besides Skill Up? I haven't seen any. I have not seen any. Yo, what's good, Mad Mills? Just saw the PS5 Wolverine covers. Controller looks great. Yeah, it does. Even COD fanboys might move to GTA. I mean, Rockstar games have a high degree of draw. I remember Red Dead Redemption 2 affecting daily player numbers in Destiny when I covered it. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's going to affect everything, and that's not even online. That's just the launch version of the game. Like Red Dead 2 just launched and did that. GTA 6 is going to do that tenfold, you know, to the player base numbers of basically every game out there. I think GTA Online will be a monthly subscription, but tiered, like $10 basic, premium online, $30 a month. No. That prediction, with respect, I just feel like you're pulling that out of thin air. There's no reason to think they're going to do that. GTA Plus is probably making them a stupid amount of money, and they will likely continue to do that. You make a low entrance fee to the online, and then you have the GTA Plus as optional, but it's so foundational to the experience that tons of people will do it. There is literally, I can't see a reason that they would be like, no, we're going to charge a monthly subscription to GTA Online. Yo, thank you, Chrono, for the raid. I just can't see that. You want to get as many people in there as you can, because if you make it inexpensive or you just include it with GTA 6, you're going to make tons of money off of like the shark cards and other microtransactions. Making people pay $10 a month would be, I don't know. I feel like that would automatically bottleneck your demand. Like people would be like, yeah, the heck right. You know, I'm not doing that. You know, ESO has shown that you don't charge a sub fee, but you have an optional sub fee that becomes foundational to the experience, and then everybody just does it almost by default. And I would think you're going to see something similar with GTA, as they did with GTA Online. Like right now, GTA Online, you play it and you can grind, or you can really get some assistance and some some of that boost from doing GTA Plus. Morning, y'all. What's good, Chrono? Guys, make sure as you come in, you hit that like button. We're very close to 300 likes. Thank you guys so much. We will be going back into GTA Online today. We will be doing that. Yeah, Rift Storm is available now. These are all games on my wish list I'm now getting notified Creator early access into Echoes of Mistralia, the one that I just told you guys about. They're saying I can claim a Steam key. Agent 64, Spies Never Die is available now. That's like the 007 sort of love letter. That's available today. Just an ocean of games coming out seemingly every other day. What if it's 2K Sports open world with shops that players earn real currency? I mean, I think GTA 6 Online is going to usher in an entire infrastructure of... It's going to be an entire infrastructure where everything's interfaced. Your social media is interfacing with it. Your YouTube channel, your Twitter, your TikToks, all of it. So, yeah. Lono's got that GTA Online fever now. Well, I mean, we've been looking for like a central thing to potentially have regularity on the channel, and I expected to play GTA Online for an hour or two and be like, okay, that was cute, and then put it down. I didn't expect to get hooked by it. Yesterday, I really got hooked because like I started playing missions with viewers, and then we created a crew, and I was like, wait a minute, is there the potential here for us to kind of, rally the community around something and sort of get more folks involved like we did with Destiny in the past? That doesn't mean I become a GTA creator, but it gives us kind of something to do, especially when the news, slows down, dries up, blah, blah, blah. I'm always trying to think of ways to give you guys more to do, give you more as a community to sort of create cartilage between all of us, whether it's the Discord or the content or things with Madam or, a game like GTA. There's possibilities there that are somewhat endless. And we are, we're 5 years into the variety coverage experiments, and it's not going well. And so we've got to figure out, is there something else we should be considering doing with the coverage, with the show, with the Discord, with the community? So I was like, well, we could start talking live service games. We could ground ourselves in PlayStation. Neither of those were very appealing to me. And then I was like, well, GTA's coming, and the online aspect is going to offer an awful lot of freedom, and we could do our own thing in that. What if we just started messing around in GTA Online to see if it's any good? And I honestly didn't expect to go very far with it. I thought after one play session I'd be done. I thought, yeah, it's not going to appeal to me. So there is the possibility that we start to find something and I'm able to kind of commentate and get a deeper understanding of it and do kind of what I did with Destiny back in the day. GTA is a great community game. I much prefer it over Fall Guys or something like that. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities there to do like community game nights, to include Madam. To the GTA Online crew name is just Reforge Gaming. And if you want to be involved, you got to go into the Discord. We are making it a part of membership. We have been, calling on folks to say, hey, consider becoming a member. The gifting cannot be the only way that we do this. We need some folks to start considering kind of like stepping up and supporting directly. If you can't, then you'll probably get a gifted if you're here on a regular basis. It kind of works on that. And we've got regular gifters. Start clipping certain segments of your stream into videos as well. I don't need any advice on what we should do with the content, Lushy. Thanks. Have you played Madden with Madam? No, there would be no reason to do that. I mean, we could do that as a funny challenge. I don't play sports games. So where in the Discord do you go to join the crew? There should be a GTA room in there, and you could also just ping Ganks. You could also ping Ganks. He's in there, and he's one of the commissioners. I believe we have a room. You go to Game Chat, and there's a GTA Online room in Game Chat. So you can use that room as well. So, it's a joke. Oh, Well, you have to signify it's a joke with some form of like emote or something. He didn't get the joke. You made zero effort to communicate it was a joke. It's your first day typing on the internet, I guess. Same with any sports game. Madden's the same almost every year. Yeah, we've not really done anything with games like that unless it's like a fun challenge or something. So, yeah. Him and Madam would have fun with backyard football, not Madam. Yeah. Maybe. We tend to just like, we just tend to like co-op games. We like co-op shooters. We liked Pal World. I considered booting up last night and like maybe, getting her in the world, getting her in, making a character and all that. But then I thought we could just save that as an incentive on the channel. We could boot up one Saturday and have her do all that and make a character and play, and I could join her. We could do a lot. We could do a lot with that. The backyard sports games went hard. I never played any of them. Growing up, we would play games here and there, but we played like Ken Griffey Baseball. That was kind of a classic. Obviously Tecmo Super Bowl, but we were never big on like the Madden, or things like that. That was just never really our jam. Anyone else thinking that Rockstar is going to charge extra for GTA Online or force you to buy into GTA Plus to play online? No. I mean, we have indications that they're not going to do that. Right now, I think I could probably argue against that prediction. So if you pre-order GTA 6, you get a month free of GTA Plus. I don't really feel like that's them laying train tracks to, like, that's not them laying train tracks to, like, make that a requirement. It's very possible. It's possible that I turn into a frog in 5 seconds. Like, come on, boys. It's not they're not signaling that. They're giving people that pre-order a month free. Running in the other direction and being like, we're going to require GTA Online. We're going to force you to pay. I don't see it. I feel like you guys are forgetting the fundamentals of this type of, like, business strategy or economic strategy. You get the funnel as full as possible, and you get everybody in there playing and having a good time. And then if they're in there and having a good time, they're way more likely to buy shark cards. They're way more likely to sign up for GTA Plus. Right? First hit's free. Right, but I'll just say this. You make your predictions and I'll make mine. I think yours are way out in left field and almost in the most unlikely to happen. Like, if we're measuring likelihood, I think yours are almost at a 0. Like, I don't think you're looking at this within the history of these games and why they're successful, whether it's Fortnite or GTA Online or the rest. I think we're doing it feels a little bit like low-level FUD, like fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Like, just being like, well, let's just create some fear. They're probably going to charge people $10 a month to play GTA Online. It's unfounded. There's no reason to think that they would do that. The biggest games in the world that have had success within this structure, they're one of them. I don't think that they would suddenly change tracks. You have 4 million people logging in still after 13 years every single day playing GTA Online. I don't know. In its current state, it makes boatloads without the subscription. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like if I'm measuring likelihood on prediction, yours is very close to a 0. It would be an absolute, just almost slamming in reverse decision to be like, oh, you want to play GTA Online? It's $10 a month. Like, wait, what? Like, for 13 years, it's been either included with the purchase of GTA 5 or it's $20. And then the monthly is optional. right? You're going to dislodge all of that goodwill, trust, and expectations by being like, no, you have to pay a monthly fee. Game companies are changing. Platitude. Empty. Doesn't say anything. Yes. Yep. They're changing. Astute. Observation. That you're not making an argument. I'm telling you, on the likelihood of things happening, that's like almost like a zero. It's like, yeah, I guess they could completely go against everything that's earned them billions of dollars the last 13 years because companies are changing. Like what? Like I don't think we're seeing a rise or an opening in the market for people being willing to pay a required subscription fee. Right? Subscriptions are plateauing. Subscription fatigue is real. Subscription prices are going up. There's stigma around subscriptions. So like, I don't think they would want the optics being, if you want to play GTA Online, you must pay a subscription fee. If it's optional, I think you end up making more money. You also have people that, the psychology of getting in a game for either free or low entrance fee, they're more likely to spend money in the game. They're less likely to spend money in the game if they're paying that monthly fee. It'll be like, wow, I don't think so. You forget that Rockstar is very, very greedy. I didn't forget that every company's greedy. Your observation is empty. Like, yeah, every company's greedy. Next. Like, I don't know. I have platitude fatigue. I just do. I'm sorry. Like they're changing, they're greedy, so let's sow some fear. Okay. You're right. They might charge a fee. They're greedy. Companies are changing. Great. Awesome. Do we have anything else you want to talk about that's more interesting than empty platitudes? Like, sorry. I'm just worn out by it. I don't feel like people say these things because they want to have a discussion. I just feel like you're wanting to be a wet blanket. It seemingly comes from the same people all the time too. Like some of you guys have a history, so I'm, happy to have you not come back if you don't like the way I'm talking to you. Like it's just an unpleasant thing to constantly have to deal with. Like go be a wet blanket somewhere else. We're just hanging out and having a good time, and you guys immediately bring the vibe down. Just go away. Like I'm kind of over it. We're done with wet blanket chatters. We're trying to have, good vibes and good times. You know what I mean? Find another community. You guys are tiring. All things that make me think, the first Wayne's World movie, the guy who ran the arcade company, talking about ripping kids off to visit his arcade, and it was like 1991. Well, the microtransaction machine of a lot of these games is oftentimes fueled by easy access. Whether you're Fortnite or, your GTA. It's just, what's funny is everybody kept insisting that GTA's online was free the other day. Not the other day. We had the funny back and forth where it was like, it was free if you buy the game. If after 13 years, the thing we did the other day that was kind of funny, but it ended up being like, that was like the 5th or 6th day people kept insisting that the game was free, that GTA Online was free. It's funny that was what the perception was. The perception was, well, it's free. Because a lot of people that were saying that probably own GTA 5. And they were just like installing it and playing it, right? Yeah, it's free when you buy it. Well, that was comical, but I believe that was an interesting thing to observe. That people had headcanon that it was free. Why? Because Rockstar made it very easy for you to get into the game. Now, do you think that would have been widespread headcanon if they were charging some subscription fee or something like that? The point is, though, is that when you have a company like this who knows they've got an audience in kids, they will always find a way to rip people off or be microtransactions or some other way. Yeah, again, you're just speaking in negative platitudes. You're not saying anything. You're like, well, they're just going to rip people off. Okay. cool. It's a corporation. We as customers, to be realists, they can change whatever they want if it increases profits. Just another empty platitude. You're not saying anything. GTA 5 Online wasn't day one. Red Dead Online wasn't day one. Yeah, I don't think anybody's saying it'll be there day one. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know what you mean by rip people off. I don't know. It's like again, it's just a platitude. It's like they're just going to rip people off. What do you mean rip people off? How have they up to this point ripped people off? What are you even referring to? Thank you, TJ Boom Boom, with a gifted. Again, I don't understand. Do you want to buy a special weapon? $5. You want to buy access to a level or a secret character? $10 more. Yeah, you're just doing FUD. Your commentary is uninteresting and boring. You're just doing FUD. You're just doing fear, uncertainty, and doubt. What you're saying is so uninteresting. It's like you're speculating that they're going to make you pay for every little thing in the game. Okay? Like I said, I mean this, heartfelt. Just, if that's your contribution to online chats and dialogue, I beg of you to go be a wet blanket somewhere else. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I don't want to read it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. It's not enjoyable. It's not thoughtful. It's not intellectual. It's not thought-provoking. It doesn't promote discussion or dialogue. You're just being a wet blanket. Like, you're the Debbie Downer that people don't want to invite to the party. Like, it's like, oh yeah, well, they might charge you $1 for every fingernail of nail polish. Like, okay. Like, I can't interact with forced FUD. It's like, oh, fine. Have that outlook, I guess. There's just nothing thought-provoking about it. You're not spurring on discussion. It's just empty, forced negative platitudes. There's something so vapid and annoying about it. I don't know. Temptation, thanks for the Prime sub over there on Purple. I appreciate it. There's just a vibe around gaming. There's a vibe around gaming right now that I'm going to just start walking to the door. Like, the negative, everything sucks, companies are terrible, gaming stinks, all these companies are greedy. If that's your vibe, stop coming back, please. Just stop. There are 1,000 channels on YouTube right now where you can go and bellyache all day. I don't want it here anymore. It's not enjoyable. It's like we're standing on the precipice of probably the biggest 5-month stretch of games that I've ever seen. No one wants to hear your belly aching or your negativity. So let the hearer understand. We're done with it. I don't want to hear it anymore. Yeah, all the anti. It's just everything's anti. Charlie talked about this too. I've talked about it. I don't know why every single game and release has just uninspired and unprompted hatred. There's a handful of things I think that are leading to it. It's just, I think people have wanted games and gaming to do something for them, and it doesn't. And so it's like a personal vendetta. Their dissatisfaction, it's like everything is a punching bag for their frustration. I just don't know. We're going into a never before stretch of gaming and everything sucks. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm just gonna keep saying it. I don't know. Just go be a wet blanket somewhere else. I'm just over it. We've done enough of the negativity and the bickering and the things stink and this company stinks and that's okay. Like I've done enough of that for one lifetime. I have done enough of that for one lifetime. I've hit my quota. You know, I'm gonna be playing great games and premiering and watching fun events. You know. And having a good time. That's what I'm going to be doing over the next 5 months. People are subbing for a lot less than game access. They know they don't have to lock the game behind a paywall to get their sub anyway. One of the reasons I think people do GTA Plus is because the game itself, the experience, is a catalyst to it. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Sounds like corpo bootlicking. If that's what you think we're doing, that's perfectly fine. Then go somewhere else. That's perfectly fine. You can label me whatever you want. I have no desire to talk to people like you. You're unwelcome. Top 3 games coming out before GTA, I would say Onimusha, Wolverine, Control, and then I'm going to sneak in a 4th one, Castlevania Belmont's Curse. Those are my 3/4. Like, I smuggled in a 4th one. That, I think, is barely scratching the surface of the number of games coming out. There are so many other games coming out. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Phantom Blade Zero, Blood of Dawnwalker. I didn't say those ones. I don't even. Resonance, Plague Tale Legacy. Like, I'm telling you, it's like I'm not going to be able to complete them all and keep up with them all. There's too many. I was asking because I bought Day 1 Red Dead 2 and GTA 5 on disc, and in the description it talks about online on the back of the case, but nothing on GTA 6 description other than single player. More than likely, that is because GTA Online is already an existent thing that they will make available. But again, it's not the focal point of GTA 6 at launch. They're not setting that expectation. You also have to remember that GTA 5's online offering, when they first brought it, was extremely minimal when it first landed. It was not what it is today. So again, I don't think they want to set any expectations. It's like, nope, when you are buying GTA 6, you are buying a single-player game. That doesn't mean that online's not coming. It means that that's not the reason that they want people buying GTA 6. From a marketing perspective, they're wanting you to focus on, this is what we're selling you. Does that make sense? This is what we're selling you. They're not selling you a, online experience. They're not selling you the promise of online experiences. So it makes sense. It makes sense because they know they have an enormous audience in GTA Online. They basically have a fully functional MMO that's been running for over a decade. 4 million daily active users is the current estimate. And because of that, I would say they don't want that audience hanging on to even the whisper of a promise about online because they probably don't have the timeline locked in just yet. Derp says crap tasting games. Who are you referring to having crap tasting games? For how long you think GTA 5 Online still exists after 6? Minimum of 10 years. I would say a minimum. For 5 years, GTA Online, like the one that's out right now, for the next 5 years, it's still going to be making perfectly good money. It's too big. So this is a challenge for all games that do anything online, right? There are so many people that will just stay where they are. They're just going to stay there. I saw a rumor floating around social networks that GTA 6 Online is going to be Extraction. No. That's really low-level bait. Come on. Come on. You're either really, really struggling to get my attention today, so that's terrible bait from you, or somebody baited you with horrible bait. I mean, I've seen some bad bait in my day, but that's pretty bad. So they're going to go from this robust 10-year running, lots of depth, open world, freedom, to being like Extraction. JK, yeah, that's some of the worst bait I've ever seen. They're like, Johnny, I've got it. Let's make it Extraction. Boy, it wouldn't work. People would be incensed. That would be a good April Fool's joke. You know, that'd be a really good April Fool's joke. Outside of that, it wouldn't be very good. I mean, you could do a mode. You know, you could certainly do a mode. The turnover will be slow. Many people will stay on GTA Online. Oh, yeah. People are not going to abandon Los Santos anytime soon. You know, I hear GTA 6 Online is going to be a full drive VR MMO. My uncle works at Nintendo, and he told me that GTA 6 Online is actually just a tactical sim. Oh, golly. I love that shirt. Thank you. I appreciate it. Guys, thanks for 300 likes on YouTube. I appreciate it. I can't wait for God of War Lao Fei, or however you spell it, in Final Fantasy VII Part 3. So all my games I'm looking forward to are next year that I vibe with. There is nothing coming rest of this year, Haseo. Excuse me. Coming 2027 from the team that brought you Marathon, GTA 6 Online. Yeah, I don't think they're going to put that on any trailers. You know, Bungie, you know, from the makers of Halo and Destiny. I don't think it'll ever say, from the makers of Halo, Destiny, and Marathon. They'll be like, can we just remove that last one? From the makers of Halo and Destiny, and nothing else ever. Nah, we've not made anything else. What are you talking about? Oh, man. I really don't think online will come out for a fair while. If it's not out within 6 months, I'd be shocked. You know? Marathon is having a comeback. Oh, it is? Oh. Where? I'm done buying Call of Duty, says Corey. $80 for multiplayer just ain't worth buying every 10 months. Yo, it's good, Mike. Did you see the rumor that you'll be able to gamble with real crypto? There are at this point too many rumors to kind of keep track of. I've seen that one. I've seen a handful of rumors about GTA Online. Well, in particular, GTA 6 Online. So look at those numbers. Oh yeah. I think these Wolverine covers are the first PS5 covers. I think you left a word out. You mean PS5 Pro, right? I think that's what you meant to say. Interestingly enough, the PS5 Pro can get the yellow and the adamantium. I don't think you can get the adamantium one, the black and white one, for standard PS5. At least it seemed that way in the blog post. Spider-Man 2 had covers. Yeah, I think he left a word out. Isn't this the first time we've seen PS5 Pro covers? Hasn't that been a frustration for the Pro owners up to now? I believe that's been a frustration, that there haven't been Pro covers. Did you guys see the rumor that Lono will have his own radio station in GTA 6? Let's start that rumor. Yeah. Yote had Pro plates? They sold out in 3 seconds? I didn't know that Yote had Pro plates. I totally missed that. Huh. I think that one is true. Any gambling with real currency or crypto would get an AO label, wouldn't it? Oh. Yeah. Well, GTA 6 is not GTA Online. So that I don't know how they're going to do that. If they want to bring... Yeah, what they're going to have to do is, to avoid all that, is you'll be able to buy in-game currency that you can gamble with, and then maybe... I don't know how in the heck they're going to do that. That gets into all kind of legalities and regulations, I'm sure. but we'll see if anything comes of it. CD Projekt Red. Great things happen when creativity and community come together around a shared love of games. Introducing CD Projekt Red Creators and Ambassadors program, a new home for creators, community ambassadors, and our team to connect, collaborate, and create. Apply now. Looks like they're getting ready to start doing stuff for Witcher, I would assume. I tried GTA 5 regular type recently and didn't stick with it, but I might give the online a go and join the crew. I feel like 6 will be a fun time. Listen, you watch me play with the community for a little bit, and I'm telling you, it pulled people in yesterday. They were like, wait, this is GTA 6? Like, I'm sorry, this is GTA Online? Like, I'm telling you, there's a meme, there's a fog of like meme and frivolity and silliness surrounding GTA Online. I think a lot of people look at it and they're like, I don't want to play that. That just looks like a goofball game. It's actually a very, very robust MMO. The only issue is, this is a great reason to join our crew and become a member and get in the Discord. The game doesn't tell you anything. If I wasn't a streamer, I wouldn't have made it. I'd have given up after an hour. I'd have been like, this is stupid. It doesn't tell me what to do. Like, I would not have kept going. I would have been like, I don't understand what you want me to do. It's too much. It's an ocean. And if you don't swim correctly in the ocean, you won't find any of the currents that can kind of make it fun. You'll just be like kind of hopping from thing to thing, and you won't feel a sense of progression or a sense of movement. It really does cut you loose very quickly. 13 years, and they don't really care about onboarding. They probably don't have to. There's a lot of goofballs and griefers. Right, but just understanding how to like set your session to private so you can just kind of grind and have fun and then matchmake with your buddies, just learning how to do that is an enormous upgrade to your experience. Like, oh, okay, I can set the mode to private. Oh, okay, I can do these missions here. Oh, okay, I can just auto-invite my friends. Boom, oh, I'm running a mission with my buds. That is a night and day experience than just like wandering by yourself or getting griefed or not knowing what to do. Like, I have an advantage as a streamer. There's 10 years of information that I could not possibly have access to as quickly as I have it when I'm streaming. Think about it like this. I could go watch a video that's like, here's how to get started in GTA Online. And they might miss stuff, they might forget stuff, they might not mention stuff. While I'm playing, I'm like, oh, how do I do this? And a minute later, someone's in chat is like, do this, click this, go here. Okay, thanks. Do you see, like, that's an advantage that I have. That's a great reason to become a part of what we're doing here. There's so many people in the Discord that can help you. They're like, oh yeah, just go here. Just click this. Just do this first. Oh, here, I'll come help you. I'll run that mission with you. Like, that's a great reason to if you're a member right now and you've never gone to the Discord, like, that's a huge aspect of what we're doing here. You can do crew sessions where only people you've approved can join. Yep, you can do that too. It's a shared instance with a bunch of people like Final Fantasy. Well, if you go in and don't set it to private, yeah, they'll just be people randomly in your instance, in your server, and they'll mess with you. They will 100% find you and kill you. You have to remember, it's a 13-year-long running game. They ain't going to be coming out and being like, hey, man, do you need help with anything? No, they're going to be like, what's up, mother? Like, they're just going to shoot you. Copilot on Xbox is a good idea. Shut the frick up. Missions are their own instance with 4 people, PvE. There are also sessions. Like, I did not expect that. Genuinely. Did not expect the game to offer that. You know? Didn't think it would be a thing. I need to set up the stream now that I'm thinking about it. GTA 6 is going to suck. There's no real masculine men working on the game. They all wear dresses. I mean, I would assume if they all wear dresses that you could probably get a job there very easily. Like, I'm assuming just from how you're typing and carrying yourself, you know what I'm saying, that you kind of get down with that. So I don't know, dude. You know, take your private Instagram, show it to them, see if you can't get a job. I mean, I think that's a ripe opportunity for a girly man like you. You know what I mean? That's just easy. That's easy money. You know, you can just go in there and say that you put a daisy in your hair every day, and it just makes your day better. And they'll be like, "You're hired. You're hired. That's what we want here." Okay. We want the 2013 version. Okay. Go there, go there. Okay. All right, let's do this. Okay. This town deserves a new class of criminal. It's like gaming deserves a new class of bait and trolling. You know what I mean? Oh, brother, this guy stinks! Off topic. I don't get the people critiquing Arc Raiders' downfall. It's what literally happens to every live service game. I mean, I try to tell folks, I'm like, even as high-flying as Rivals got, as high-flying as Arc Raiders got, Helldivers, all of them, they all have the natural gravity of decline waiting for them. You know what I mean? No one's king forever except for one. You know what I mean? There's only one forever king. So, like, it's like there is a decline waiting for everyone. Every game, every live service game in existence will experience that. You know? I don't think Men in Dresses would have Lucia looking how she looks. Well, here's the thing, Cool Bama guy. You just wasted 7 seconds of your life typing that, and let me explain why. When someone types that, it's not real analysis. It's just some frustrated dude working out some unresolved issues on the internet. Because if you actually analyze the trailers, you would never conclude it's going to be some, woke prissy game. It's like half the characters in the game are scantily clad, bouncing around, showing off their cake. It's like, I don't know what in the world. But see, as soon as you enter that, you're wasting your time because they're not doing real analysis. You're dealing with like reality and real analysis and the trailers, and you're like, I see nothing here that communicates that. They don't see that either. They don't see that either. They've got unresolved issues, bro. Like, it's a level of frustration that it becomes and has become so illogical. Did someone say cake? Yo, Jaggy with 59 months. Let me add it to the total. We're well behind schedule, boys. If you want Madam playing some GTA Online this week, you guys are going to have to kick it into high gear. This is like the 4th or 5th week in a row. We are just not. You got to check those renewals. A lot of you guys, man, check your primes, check your renewals. That costs you nothing. You're already paying for it. Click it. You know what I mean? If you don't click the $ and celebrate it, it doesn't get added. I know I wasted 7 seconds playing Captain Obvious. It's for sure. It's for sure. I'm speaking to you as someone who is an expert at wasting my time on those losers. Like, I'm an expert in it now. Long-time listener, Dark Road Reforge coffee buyer, thank you for staying positive and upbeat about the state of games. Well, I appreciate that. Tell your friends. This kind of coverage is not high in demand. People want their emotional state to be affirmed. So we are definitely out of step with the current of gaming coverage. If you don't go with the angry mob and complain about everything and call every corporation awful and terrible, then people are people don't want to watch. This sadly, this type of coverage and this type of tone is not in high demand. People would rather have their anger affirmed by just one other angry person on screen. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm not interested in that. Arc devs took the money and ran. Can't blame them. Huh? They took the money and ran. Where did they go to exactly? I'm not sure where they went. Cake, we all love cake. We're 100 days away from GTA 6's release. I'm seeing a lot of those posts now. Everyone been saying that on recently. I don't know why. That's not the issue. Arc Raiders ran into the same problem that every single live service runs into. We've had this conversation many a time. Sadly, all it does is make people angry. I don't win fans by saying this, but like even your most precious, most favorite live service game is going to experience decline. They're going to run in to the shoreline of where's your longevity? What's your re-engagement plan? How are you going to get people to keep coming back and keep re-engaging? Every game runs into this every single time. Helldivers 2, what did I say? I said they're not going to be able to do this war bond thing every 30 days. It's absurd. You're going to end up hurting yourself. You're going to end up driving people away. It's too much of a good thing. And guess what they ended up having to admit after the game was out for about a year? They had to reevaluate the cadence with which war bonds hit. New World, what did I say? I said PvP is going to be the biggest problem. It's going to be the biggest problem. It's going to drive people away. It's going to hurt re-engagement. It's going to make mid-lane players and casuals go away. It's exactly what happened. What happened with X Defiant? I said it's an arena shooter. They're going to struggle to maintain a player base. They struggle to maintain a player base. I looked at Concord. I said this is DOA. Highguard, DOA, Marathon. It's going to struggle with re-engagement. It's going to be too punishing. It's not going to work. Arc Raiders, I was like, Extraction's too punishing, it's not going to work. What'd they do? The only reason that Arc Raiders pulled off what it did, aggression-based matchmaking. They allowed people to play the game like a PvE game, and that's what carried the game. But what happened? Engagement starts to drop. The content plan starts to dry up. And what are you dealing with? Engagement patterns. Where is everybody going? They're getting bored. They're getting too familiar with the game. They're moving on. Like, it's a tale as old as time. Like, it's like every single time, these live service games crop up, I always say the same thing. I'm like, yes, fly as high as you can for as long as you can, because gravity is inevitable. It's inevitable. Gravity comes for everybody. It does. It came for Helldivers. It came for Marvel Rivals. It came for Arc Raiders. It came for Overwatch. It comes for every game. It came for Fortnite. It came for Warzone. It comes for all of them. They all see decline eventually. At this point, I don't think the answer is how to fight against the gravity. It's how to work with it. Can you anticipate the declines? Can you start to anticipate, when they're going to happen? Like, how do you bring a healthy amount of people back? You're never going to get back to your height, but can you get to a sustainable return? The question is not how do we get back to the apex? The question is, can we get people to come back, enough in a healthy way so that we're okay as a company, we're maintaining bandwidth and good work-life balance, like we're not burning our teams into dust, and we also have enough people coming back to support the game long term. That's why I kept saying with like Marathon, I was like, it's going to fall below minimum viable player numbers. The game won't function properly. And everybody told me I didn't know what I was talking about. All those people are gone. They left. Because they were wrong, and the game is basically headed towards utter disaster. And the same thing happened with Highguard. I mean, Concord was absolutely catastrophic. And those were games that stumbled out of the gate. If you want to have any chance of success in live service, you need your launch to be meteoric in order to even hope to stand a chance. It's never about pushing the ceiling as much as it's about managing the floor. That's right. It's you have to figure out, where are we going to land and how do we get enough people to come back to make this sustainable? Which is why I always said, certain games, it was obvious from the beginning, you will not have enough players. There will not be enough demand for this. I've said this about Horizon Hunters Gathering. I said it about Marathon. I'll say it about Fair Games for the 25th time. You aren't going to have enough consumer demand to survive. It's like a plane taking off. You don't have enough lift, you're crashing. It doesn't matter if you crash a mile after takeoff or on the dadgum runway. Concorde crashes on the runway. Highguard makes it a couple weeks. Who cares if Marathon makes it a year? It's still headed for the crash. It's coming. The games that make it settle into basically coming down and having enough to lift back up and stay in the air. You can see this with games like Helldivers 2 has had enough people coming back and spending money. Seemingly, they've got something coming. Similarly, Marvel Rivals has had that. They've had enough people logging back in and playing, to maintain that player base. So it really, really takes a lot for that initial lift to set trajectory for survival. It's rare for something to start out horribly and then turn it around later. It's really rare. I don't know if we've ever even seen that. Rainbow Six Siege and Destiny are probably games where you could say bad start, strong finish, or bad start turned it around, but they had a lot more in their favor. They had brand recognition. They had lots of commercial sales, so potential consumers to come back. They had way more to play with. How do you feel about 4Loop? I feel like 4Loop, hopes to... They're probably hoping to make their money back. I don't see 4Loop lasting either. 4Loop is another game where you're not going to have velocity and appeal to do much. You're just not. You're not. I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at the industry, and I'm looking at what's coming, and it's like, you got to think about this. GTA 6 and GTA Online are just sitting there waiting to jump in the pool and wash so many of these games out. You're just going to get pushed out of the water. Dispersion's going to happen. Just go whoosh. You're done. You're done. There won't be enough people to play your game. If you're too small, everybody's going to be like, yeah, I play this game now. Here comes Buzz Lightyear. Woody gets dropped. It's coming. It's coming. GTA 6 and GTA Online is going to blot out the sun. It's going to be eclipsing. If you're not a Fortnite, if you're not a Warzone, if you're not an Apex or a PUBG, if you're not a long-standing household name, you are cooked if you want to maintain a live service user base. Just give it up. The ongoing live service dream, I feel like for many companies right now, it's dying right in front of them. And that's not a bad thing. Divert the funding, divert the games, divert the attention. Single-player games have dominated the charts this year. They have dominated the charts. There's money to be made in single-player. You don't have to do this online thing, this massive live service, ongoing, blah, blah, blah. Like, you've got to absolutely have just an absolute dynamite idea and dynamite appeal to even pray you survive. I saw a comment today where someone claimed GTA 6 will be banned in the U.S. due to the size of Lucia's butt because of wokeness. That's just low-level bait. They're just baiting. You have to start to see what bait is and just start dismissing it and don't interact with it. Gears is dying as a franchise. Gears might not survive this. Oh, I don't think Gears' ongoing content plans and ongoing engagement, I don't think it's going to be very good. No. The footprint will be too small. The footprint will be too small, and it doesn't offer anything. It does. Let's be honest. The Horde looks fun and looks cool and novel, and I could totally see grinding it and leveling my characters and playing. Maybe playing with Madam. It gets a little intense. It's not fun. If she's not having fun, I'm not having fun, right? But the PvP, it doesn't offer anything new. It's the same thing as it's always been, which is fine. Know what you are and own it. But that's not going to last. Like a year from now, I think people are going to be like, yeah, it's just same as it ever was. It's just the same as it ever was. It's wall bouncing and Nashers. Cool. That's got a life expectancy of like vibrancy and re-engagement of 3 to 6 months tops. People will walk away. It's a meat grinder. It's the same thing over and over again, and it's not new. And that's fine. But if you're hoping to have longevity and live service out of that, yeah, I'd give up on that right now. I don't see it. The market's not clamoring for hyper sweaty arena PvP. It's not. The market's turned its back on that. Oh, hyper sweaty, high skill ceiling arena PvP? I can't wait to play that for no minutes. You know, your core hardcore audience will play it. Everybody else is going to be like, no thanks, I'm good. Y'all can keep that. Like, I'll grind some Horde. I'll play the campaign with some buds. But I ain't playing that. No thank you. Gonna get killed by some sweat lord bouncing from walls and then my body just explodes. Deuces, y'all. There's an ocean of other games I can go play. Oh, get good, scrub. No, I ain't gonna get good. I'm gonna get lost. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get out. Nobody's sticking around for that. It's not fun. Gaming is supposed to be fun. There's this interesting dialogue emerging around that. What's good, Donnie? There's this interesting dialogue emerging around those types of games. And people keep saying that nobody wants to get good anymore. And I think they're making a fundamental mistake. All right? They're making a fundamental mistake. In the past, it wasn't that everybody wanted to get good. It's that was the only game to really play. That was it. It wasn't like if you couldn't put Gears down and just go play Warzone, Fortnite, Apex, PUBG. Like, there was an ocean of games you could go play. No, it's like if you wanted to play that, if you wanted to play some PvP, it was Quake. It was Unreal Tournament. And then it was Call of Duty or Halo or Gears. Now, you're nothing. You're just another t-shirt on the rack that's easy to ignore. It's like, yeah, okay. You don't want to get good. Nobody wanted to get good in the past. It was the only thing to play. Think about it with the perspective of like really, really old school games, right? So you would play Mario or Metroid or any of those games, Contra, for hours and hours and hours and hours. Were you playing because you're like, I'm trying to get good, or it was like, well, no, this is it. This is all there is. Now, there's a market for those games, sure. There's a market for punishing games. There's a market for high challenge games, Souls games, things like that. But in general, the modern amenities of games, just having save points, Just having save points. Imagine playing Blasphemous or really hard platformers like Nine Souls, which is basically like a platformer Sekiro. Imagine playing that with no save points. Do you have any idea? Like, that'd be ridiculous. People are like, are you kidding me? What? No, they wouldn't do it. But we played games like that in the past. You run out of lives, you got to start all the way over. That was it. That was it. That was all there was to play. I think people make a fundamental misunderstanding of like, gamers loved to, make, Lono and Tornadoes. Oh, you're getting, we're not. I was gonna say we're not getting that here. Gamers love to get good back in the day. No, they didn't. It was the only thing to play. If there was a more fun game or, a more approachable game back then, especially one that was free, they'd have been playing that. Like, I think the dawn of Battle Royale and the dawn of Fortnite completely changed players' expectations of games. And people were like, well, skill-based matchmaking, and, it's that game, it's to blame it on that and blame it on players just being scrubs and not wanting to get good. You completely misunderstand and misdiagnose what's going on. Players want to have fun. If a guy's in his 30s and he gets home from a job that he doesn't really like that much, does he want to play a game that promotes the idea that he's not very good at it? And if he doesn't get good, he can't have fun? Like, imagine that experience. Like, these games exist on a binary. If you're on the other end of the sweaty player that's just trouncing you, that's not fun. You're not like, I can't wait to play 8 more games like this tonight where I get a couple of kills and just get steamrolled by better players. There's no entertainment value there. It's a binary. It's like, it's a 0, it's a 1. You're winning or you're losing, and commonly losing feels terrible. You're like, this is not fun, especially in an arena shooter. In an arena shooter, the distance between you, running, shooting, and dying, it's all super close together. Everything's happening like, it's like, the heartbeat monitor. You're repeating actions super close together. So you're just immediately like, I'm tired of this. By that logic, FromSoft wouldn't sell millions and millions of copies. You're not applying my logic. You do this all the time. You don't argue in good faith. I'm not saying that people don't enjoy challenging games. I'm talking about a game that exists on a binary. FromSoft games are designed to be beaten. You memorize the telegraphs, you memorize the attack patterns, you rise to the occasion, you feel satisfaction in conquering it. But there's also an ocean of players that don't buy those games, that have no interest in them. When you go into games that exist on a binary of you either win or you lose, that's it. That's the game. That's the thing. That's the arena shooter. Arena shooters are completely off-putting for that reason for people, because like, it is a meat grinder. You're just in there, you're winning or you're losing. And when the skill gap is that large, because it's an established franchise, you're going to check out. You're just going to check out. You're going to be like, dude, I come home to relax, not to get stomped on by another player. Now, if you come home and you're playing a FromSoft game that you've developed a palate for, you know that eventually you're getting further in the game, you're getting better, you're learning. That's not the same as a PvP game, because the players that you're playing against are not rote, rehearsed, like predictable telegraphs and attack patterns. They're not designed to be conquered. It's just another player who's better than you. There's not a similarity there between like, people play FromSoft games. The palette and the desire to play a FromSoft game is vastly different than the palette and the desire to play an arena shooter where you got to quote unquote get good. I think the difference is like the learning curve's a lot steeper. You play a FromSoft game and you can literally see what the character's doing. You can memorize it. You can kind of keep track of certain things. If you can keep your cool. I don't have the temperament for it. But when you play a PvP game, it's like you don't know what you're going to get. You get some wall bouncer who just turns you into meat packets, and you're like, I don't even know what happened. Like, if the skill gap is too broad, learning doesn't take place. If I took my kid outside when he was 5 years old, and I'm dribbling the soccer ball around him, and I'm saying, steal it, come on, steal it, and I'm running past him because I'm faster, I'm kicking the ball into the goal because I'm better than him, the chasm between my skill and his skill is so great, he learns nothing. He will not get good. When the chasm's that big, you don't learn anything. Okay? Well, now my son is 10, and I play about as hard as I can against him. Why? Because the chasm between us has shrunk, and now he learns. If I'm beating him on the angle, if I'm side on and I'm ahead of him on the angle and I'm closing so he can't get his shot on goal, he kicks it, I block it, he learns. If you don't have me beat on the angle, fake the right and cut on me, is what I was telling him this last night. Fake the right and cut on me. I beat him to the angle 3 times in a row, and I'm like, you're forcing it. You're forcing it. Now, he's learning. If I do that to him when he's 5, he doesn't learn. I'm just going to steal the ball from him every single time. So that's the difference, is like when you're playing a PvP game, especially established franchises, the biggest enemy of an established franchise PvP game being successful is the established player base. Because their skill, you can't take it away from them. You can't. It's so baked in. They know exactly what to do, where to go, where to move. They have the maps memorized after a week. You step in, you're like, this is going to be fun. And he's like, boom, 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 boom. And you're like, I'm dead. What was that? Shoot, shoot, boom, boom, wall jump, roll, boom. I'm dead. Oh my gosh. What should I do differently? I don't know. I'm the 5-year-old against the adult in soccer at that point. You're running around me and my head's spinning. So that's why skill-based matchmaking started to show up, is they were trying to shrink the gap between established player base and new player base so people could get their footing. Well, we all know what that leads to. It leads to the top 10% only ever playing the 10%. They get burned out and bored. And then the middle is frustrated because they end up getting pulled up into high-skilled lobbies where they get trounced on. Then they get thrown back down into the low-skill lobbies where they're not challenged, and it's also equally kind of boring, and they experience skill-based matchmaking whiplash. Like, the people in the middle are in the worst-case scenario because, like, you can put up decent enough numbers to get yanked into lobbies that are sweaty, and then you get trounced, and then you get smacked back down into the bot lobbies. It's not a fun experience. So skill-based matchmaking is trying to make the best of a terrible situation. It's like it's trying to make the best of it. And what about you versus your wife? In what, though? I mean, she doesn't really play competitive games. I mean, neither of us really play competitive games. Skill-based matchmaking is trying to solve a mathematical equation. It's trying to say, how can we keep the most players satisfied? That's all it's trying to do. How do we keep the most players satisfied? Skill-based matchmaking is saying, can we keep people in this game by making sure they're having more fun than bad at the end of the day? If 100 people play this game in a given hour, we want 51% of them, minimum, to have a better experience than 49%. Now, obviously, they want that to be more like a 60-40 or a 70-30 split, where like 70% of the people that play end up saying, that was fun, and then the others leave. You're a multiplayerist, you're a PvPist. I've played PvP games since they were invented and professionally shoutcasted them. I know more about them probably than people like you that get your feathers ruffled when I talk about them. You don't like what I'm saying because you know that it's true. You're not making a refutation. You're labeling because you probably don't have a comeback to anything I've just said. We're talking gear sweats. That's what started the conversation, Erica. People were like, well, what's your opinion on the shotguns? And I was like, it's an amazing form of skill expression, but it poses an enormous threat to people wanting to play. It poses an enormous threat because people don't get home from work and they don't want to, quote unquote, get good against players where if the skill gap is that big, you don't learn anything. And I gave the example of like when my son was 5, I could have ran circles around him in soccer and he would have learned nothing. Now I play as hard as I can against him because it's how he learns. It's always been a threat as much as I love it. And listen, I love it, and I'm like, I actually argued this morning they should leave it. I think they should leave it. Leave it. Let people have their Nasher fun. Let people wall bounce. Own what you are. As soon as they start trying to blunt that tip of that if they try to blunt that edge, that sharp edge of the game, it's a lost cause. What I think they should maybe consider doing is having game modes with no Nashers. So if you want to break from that, you can go have a break from that. You know, they could get creative. I think the Horde mode shows promise, but I just would say leave wall bouncing and Nashers alone. Just let that be a thing. I think you're going to fight a losing battle if they try to blunt that edge. I think it's a waste of time. You absolutely just have to leave it alone. I think it's become part and parcel to Gears PvP. It's also why I think Gears PvP will have very little engagement within 6 months of release, because it's a meat grinder, it's an arena, and it's got so much about it that's unappealing to a broad audience, and they shrunk the footprint of the game. I don't think PvP is long for this world in that game. I just don't think it'll have a lot of people playing. It'll very shortly be extremely shrunk down hardcore audience. And then it's a slippery slope. You just lose people every week when that happens. They used to do where you could fight against bots. Not sure if they're going to do that, but that's how I got better back in Gears 2. Yeah, it's not. I just think the Horde mode shows maybe more promise, but the PvP is going to eat itself. It's just going to absolutely eat itself and consume itself because it doesn't. Number one, they shrunk the footprint. It's arena. It's already on its back foot because it's arena. Arena shooters for PvP just don't last long. It's a meat grinder, and people get burned out very quickly. You know? Play the beta. It's freaking fun. I really liked Horde. PvP was what I expected. It was a shotgun fest. You know? It was wall bouncing and shotgun, and the people that master that, I have respect for the skill. I think it's impressive. I find it completely unappealing, and I think a lot of other people will as well. So, I think any PvP game is going to run into that. Especially arena PvP in particular has a huge uphill battle to climb. PvP will be what it's always been. The casuals will leave and go to COD 2 weeks later, and then I'll be shaking hand in a cloud. Should have been on PS5. Yeah, PS5 would have helped because it would be a larger footprint. I still think arena shooters die a quick death. Sadly. I think they die a quick death. I don't think they hold players. I just think arena's too much of a meat grinder. It's too much of a meat grinder. What's beautiful about Gears PvP is the different modes. They force the other styles of play, not just shotties. Perhaps. I mean, again, if they can get inventive with the modes and they can get inventive with like different ways, there's a lot they could do. I think that's why people play Gears. They actually can get better. You can learn to move after all the modes are there. Something for everybody. You may be sleeping on Gears a little bit. If you want to bet against my predictions on PvP and live service, be my guest. Go ahead. Go ahead. If you want to bet against me in the realm of live service PvP game predictions, be my guest. Step right up. Be the next contestant. On Lono said a thing about a PvP game, about a live service PvP game, and I don't agree. Okay. It's not gone well for anybody that's gone against me for the past, I don't know, decade. It's not gone very well for people. So you go ahead and take that action if you want. I'm telling you, man, arena shooters are a fool's errand at this point if you want to have longevity and a big player base. I just think it's a fool's errand. It's not even a dying breed. I believe it's practically extinct. You know? It's practically extinct. You have a PvE bias. Yeah. My PvE bias really affected my predictions about Concord Highguard Marathon. X-Defiant, like the decline of Rivals, the decline of Arc Raiders, the decline of Helldivers 2. You know, good Lord. What are we betting? I don't exactly know what your position was. You said you felt like I was sleeping on it. My prediction's very simple. It's the same prediction I've made about virtually every arena game that has come out in the last 3 years. They don't last. They don't last. They don't hold a player base. Remember the episode of Seinfeld? He's like, you know how to take the reservation, you don't know how to hold the reservation. Like, arena shooters, I'm telling you, because they're a meat grinder, they do not hold a player base. It becomes a ghost town very quickly because I just think it wrings people out. Even the people that enjoy it, I think, are going to get burned out very quickly. I think GTA 6 Online, GTA 6 and launch in general is bad news for any live service game, especially arena shooters, because I just think that big open worlds, big open freedom, battle royales, even Arc Raiders, those kinds of games just offer more emergent gameplay as opposed to rote and rehearsed, run to the choke point, win the shotgun fight gameplay. I told people the same thing was going to happen with Splitgate 2. I'll drop a 20 bomb this time 2027 if you're right. Here's why I don't like betting against games, Zyber, or Zibwild. Here's why I don't like doing it. I told people what was going to happen with Marathon. They all bet me. They all told me I was wrong. They said I didn't know what I was talking about. My PvP bias, my PvE bias. And they're all gone. They all left. So like I said, if you want to bet against me in the realm of PvP live service predictions, you go right ahead. You go right ahead. The laws of nature are on my side. The laws of nature are on my side. Madness is like gravity. Like, gravity is coming for everyone. And I think gravity hits the arena shooters faster than pretty much everybody else. So, we do need to switch gears here, though. No pun intended. We're talking about gears. Okay. It's not fair to judge Helldivers 2 off its decline. It was never meant to have a player base it has to begin with. No, I just told people that Helldivers would see decline, and I also said about Helldivers, I said one of their primary problems is going to be doing war bonds every 30 days. It will become a nuisance, not just for them. It will become a turnoff. It will become a negative or a problem for newer returning players. And lo and behold, the game was out for 8 or 9 months, and the developers admitted that it was a problem and that they needed to think about the cadence of war bonds. I said that you know, the PvP in New World would be one of the biggest problems with the game, and it was the biggest deterrent. It was the biggest babysitting patch thing they had to do. It was a nuisance. You know, when it comes to live service commentary and trajectories and predictions about player behavior, I have way more hits than misses. You know, like, if you want to, like, a lot of times when I'll talk like this, people will bring up Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And all I ever said about that game was I thought it showed promise and I thought it was going to be good. Once I played it, I completely changed my opinion, and I said, no, this won't last. This will not last. The live service structure was terrible. Okay? Arc Raiders. I said the biggest problem with Arc Raiders is punishing extractions unappealing. You're going to have a hard time keeping people. What did they do? They implemented protections literally surrounding that theme, and the game took off. And I said, Arc Raiders has the secret sauce. And I said, the month Arc Raiders came out, I said, there is aggression-based matchmaking in the game. There is something in the game that puts you into friendly lobbies if you're friendly, and it creates a better sticking point for the game. It creates a more organic, emergent funnel for people to keep coming back. And then I ended up being right. I played the game for a week, and I was like, I think there's some kind of system in place, some kind of aggression-based matchmaking system in place. And I was right. Like, so again, I played the Gears beta, and I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you that the structure of games that are arena PvP, they lose players faster than probably any other game out there. They probably do. They can't keep people. There's something part and parcel to arena shooters that can't keep people. They burn out quick and they leave. So we've seen it with X Defiant. We saw it with Splitgate 1. We saw it with Splitgate 2. I believe the developers misdiagnosed why Splitgate 1 didn't keep people. They were like, oh, we didn't have any content. It's like, it wasn't the lack of content. It wasn't the lack of a battle pass or a season. It was the fact that it's an arena shooter. People get to, 20 hours or so, and they're like, yeah, I've kind of seen and done this rigmarole before. So, and even the most successful live service games that we've seen explode. Helldivers exploded, Arc Raiders exploded, Marvel Rivals exploded. Gravity comes for all of them. They all experience that decline eventually. I just think arena shooters experience the decline like the demon drop. If you're familiar with that ride, where like you go up and then you just drop, right? I think that is more of the arena style drop, and then the more open game, the more emergent style game, like the what happened with Arc Raiders. Or I actually think the biggest landscape for innovation and growth is PvE and co-op. I think more players are growing in a desire to play together instead of against each other. I think there's a growing. That's why I look at the Horde mode and I'm like, I actually think the Horde mode shows a lot of promise in Gears. But I just don't think PvP shows a lot of promise, because number one, it's saturated, and number two, I think players are continuing to show that they want to play together, which is what we're getting ready to do right now. We're going to continue playing GTA Online. We're going to continue to try to grow our crew. If you want to become a part of the crew, you got to be a member or a sub. So we're going to switch here in just a moment. I'm going to take a brief break. Do me a favor, though, if you haven't already, hit the like button. Try and get us to 400 likes. And I'm gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna pivot. If you want to be a member of our crew, you got to be a member and get in the Discord. Okay, we're gonna funnel all that through the Discord. We're trying to grow that part of the community. It's a great way to be a part of what we're doing here. Okay, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Hit like, become a member, become a sub. Especially if you're paying for Prime, you might as well use it. Don't let that go to waste every month. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, another great reason to become a member here. Another great reason to become a member here is join our crew. Is you can play with me. So if you become a member and you get in the Discord, we will I can add you to my friends list. I'm not gonna like do that on the fly. I'm not gonna like do that on the fly while I'm streaming necessarily. But like I see Kingslayer here. I see names I recognize. There's a lot of you guys trying to get added to my friends list. Make sure I'm going to set my notifications to do not disturb. The Second Love, TRM, and Flyest are good to add to the crew, but we don't know who Scott Free is unless you do. I thought Scott Free was in the Discord. Yeah, we need you guys to be in the Discord. You got to be in the Discord if you want to be a part of what we're doing with GTA. We are going to switch to a new stream here in a second. Okay. Takes a minute to get into the game. We're just going to keep grinding the content. We're just going to keep grinding the missions, by the way, that I can have you guys join me for. I think that's what we're going to do today. We're just going to try to grow the crew. Our main focus is growing the crew. So again, if you're already a member, if you have a Prime, join up. Membership on the week continues to be something that we're trying to give you guys good reason to become a part of what we do here instead of just like doing it for the sake of doing it. We want you guys to feel like there's good reason and good benefits to becoming a member. And when we hit those goals, we do the streams with Madam, and we can make Madam play. We can kind of have those celebrations. So a great time to go a little crazy with joining or upgrading or gifting is when we're playing the game. Okay, so I need to get everything ready because I'm going to have to send you guys a link in the chat. We do cold starts now. It actually has been very, very helpful. Let's do... Great. I didn't make a thumbnail with the live missing. Hang on a second. All right, I'll give you guys a link. And again, we do cold starts now. It actually helps the VOD process later, which is like a huge help to me. So please click the link in chat on YouTube. And then I'll see you guys over there in like a minute or so.